Welcome to Sports and Stogies. Now, introducing your hosts, Cameron Winkowitz and Austin Hayes.
New passion that you... Because when Cam gets into something, he dives in deep.
Yeah,
right?
I pretty much go to the bottom of whatever it is. And
So
then work
right
my way
now,
up.
rumor is you're deep into pirates.
Yeah, I've recently began the deep dive into pirate history, which actually starts pre-pirates, and is just Old English history at the moment, which is kind of weird, but and started like you don't realize how recent pirates were.
Dude, there are still pirates.
I don't. How recent is it?
How recent, though?
Like
did it start?
17, like after America?
Like post-Columbus, yeah.
Oh.
Well, post-Columbus and pre-America is kind of a big gap there, but...
Well, I mean, like shortly after Columbus was when things started to heat
it's like
up.
1500s.
Yeah, like early 1500s. So basically, there was this fella named, I think it was King Henry VIII.
Who had like 9 wives, if I'm not correct.
Yes.
It could be the 5th or the 8th. I always get them
It was
mixed up.
one of those two. It was the one with like 9 wives. So basically, he was married. His wife couldn't birth a boy. So he, this is also when England separated from Catholicism. As it was around this time. So you're looking at the beginning of Protestant England. And so basically he tried to get a divorce. The Pope said no. So he was like, well, I don't like Catholics anyways. So he deemed himself the Pope of Protestant England.
Because imagine at the time, like, you want to get a divorce, but the Pope, like, some other guy is like, yeah, you know what? Nah, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, so there was no way, he tried to spin it so many ways, and there was no way for that to happen. So then he was just like, all right, well, I'm the Pope. So I'm giving myself a divorce.
Look at me. I am the Pope now.
Yeah, so he basically oversees his own divorce, allows it to happen, whatever. And the lady that he wanted to marry after that, her name was Anne Boleyn. And she was being courted by another guy in the, noble. No, he was by another nobleman.
Duke of somebody, I think.
So I can't remember what his name was. It actually never told me.
Shane, pull that up.
Kind of irrelevant. But so what he had done was somehow got her, or basically somehow got her and the nobleman to, she was put on trial for something, or maybe I can't remember what it was exactly. But somehow he was against her, the nobleman. So she was like, okay, well, obviously I'm not going to marry you anymore. So then she ends up marrying King Henry and also births him 2 daughters.
Yikes. Not what he wanted.
One of which was named Mary. The other one was Elizabeth. And then he was like, well, you're not going to give me any sons. So he named his daughters in succession after he had a jousting accident and caught a loose lance to the thigh, I guess, that would later cause his death.
That'll get you.
Somehow a jousting accident in his thigh that he lived with for multiple years eventually caused his death.
Just get infected, or?
No, it was years down the road.
Shane, how would you treat a jousting accident?
Do direct pressure and drive.
Yeah, so Queen Elizabeth was 13 or 14 when, or maybe she was 12 when he died. Or no, I think it was 13 or 14. I think she was a teenager.
Yeah, it's teen.
So
all this leads into...
I'm not done yet.
I'm trying to figure out, because I know loose history.
Yeah, so we're getting there.
But I'm trying to put pieces together here, and I'm totally lost.
We're getting there. So then he has Anne Boleyn tried for adultery, incest, and witchcraft.
Which she's guilty of all 3, I think.
No,
They
call her guilty, but she actually didn't do any of it.
Well, no, she didn't. But they say she's guilty.
one of the guys on the jury was that nobleman that they had previously had issues with. So he was awful. He was like, yeah, dude, she's definitely a witch.
She's definitely an adultering witch.
But he just threw incest in there too, just to
put the cherry on
King
top.
Henry did.
Yeah, come on.
So then he ends up marrying another woman
his 7th wife.
It's up there. All the other ones are kind of, they didn't birth any children or anything.
Yeah.
Like we're now at the important children, and she births him a son. So now he has a true heir, and then he shortly dies. Like he dies when the son turns like.
He's like, yeah, dude, my jousting leg's gonna take me. So thank God I got a son.
Yeah, I
now.
think his son was like 10, like really young, and then. So then, when his son takes over, there's a guy trying to marry Elizabeth and Mary, like either or. He's just trying to get one of them so he can get in the royal succession. So he ends up marrying King Henry's widow instead.
Whoa, the third option.
Yeah. So then there's like some creepy pedo stuff that he's trying to pull with Elizabeth.
Who again is like 13, 14.
Correct. But she had also already went to France to train to be a stateswoman, like so she could be a noble woman. So she's like way super smart. Apparently she learned Latin, Portuguese, French, English. Like she knows like 7 languages.
And of course she goes on to become queen later.
Correct.
Elizabeth
She wrote
I.
a book in Latin that is still in a museum today. She hand wrote it. And they say it's like the most pristine writing they've ever seen, still. And she was like 12. So what she did in her pastime for like her whole life was dual translation. This was like her crossword puzzle. So she would read something in English or read something in Irish, read it in English, and then say it again in Italian. And that's how she learned all these languages.
But she wasn't a boy, so it wasn't good enough for King Henry.
So anyways, Henry's son had said, so he was full Protestant. Mary was Catholic, and Elizabeth was kind of like a hybrid. So he had said, no Catholics are going to be taking the throne, so he pulled his sisters out of succession. And then their stepmom passed away.
Wait, how old is he when he pulls his sister out?
I don't know, 15, 16. So by then he's like full, like he's still like the courts are helping him make decisions,
Yeah.
but he's the one pulling all the triggers.
At 15, that's wild.
It's insane. The royal family is it's insane how it used to be.
Especially in 1530 or whenever it was.
Yeah, when people are starting to travel, trade, and they're an island, so you have to keep you have to keep allies around you, or you will just be cut off from the world.
Yeah.
But so he pulls his sisters out of succession because he can't have any Catholics being in charge of Protestant England.
God forbid.
Because King Henry also kind of led the charge on Catholics to be like beheaded. Like he would a lot of deaths happen. So eventually, the husband of their stepmom dies. Or no, the husband gets tried for treason because he wanted to marry Elizabeth so bad that he was going to kill the king. So he was found so the king had guard dogs in his room that apparently not a lot of people knew about. So when he went in there to kill him, he killed one of the dogs, and the other dogs are barking, so the guards ran in. So he's standing there with a bloody sword and the king in bed right there.
It wasn't me, dude.
And so yeah, he got tried for treason and beheaded. And then they tried to try Elizabeth for treason because of the whole pedo stuff that was going on with her and that guy.
Wait, so this was like, like she was down for it too?
No.
No.
So it was like
involvement.
it was like weird, like weirdly playful stuff. Like they would run through the garden and chase her around, and then it just got weirder. Like he would just crawl into bed with her in the morning.
How would she get tried for that though?
Dude, again, it's medieval England.
Yeah, it's like,
treason. You can say anything. Treason.
Anything was treason.
So she ended up. Look at me wrong. That's treason.
She ended up beating the case. The original case beater.
If the glove don't fit, you must quit.
So then their stepmom, after the son dies, because he pulled the sisters out of succession, the stepmom's now the queen, she marries the king of Spain. So now England is starting to become wealthy because Spain's getting all the treasure sent back from the Americas. So he would fill up Spain's coffers, he'd fill up England's coffers. And eventually the stepmom dies. But before she dies, she puts the daughters back in succession. Actually, I think the daughter marries the King of Spain after the stepmom dies, and she becomes Queen Mary.
Yeah, Mary.
So Mary marries the King of Spain, but she does what King Henry did, but does it to the Protestants. So her nickname was Bloody Mary because she was just killing Protestant people because she was Catholic.
Which is where the drink comes from, actually.
I was about to say I've heard of her a time or two.
She did enjoy tomato juice, from what I hear.
So then eventually Mary's on her deathbed. She has no children, and Elizabeth is getting ready to take over. So Mary dies. Elizabeth takes over. The King of Spain just kind of is like, we don't have an alliance anymore. So he stops filling their coffers. So England is now poor. So this is where I'm getting into.
So yeah, now the wheels are starting to turn a little bit.
So Elizabeth found out a way to hire pirates to attack Spain's treasure ships without it being brought back to her.
So like mercenaries, almost.
Pretty much, but she's historically called the Queen of Pirates because of this. And she's like sub 20 years old. She's
making moves.
And she's probably the reason why Britain became a superpower.
Yeah, what it became.
So, yeah, so that's where I'm at right now.
So it's like these random like seafarers, just guys out there already doing pirating? Is it a new idea?
So I don't know. I'm not sure
Or is she just like, hey, you know what?
I'm not sure where we're at yet.
Let me throw this at you real quick.
All I know is the title of the podcast I'm listening to for this episode is called The Gentlemen Adventurers.
That doesn't sound quite like a pirate to me.
But they are. So I think the Gentlemen Adventurers lead into her first pirate crew.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, I'm excited.
Again, when Cam dives into something,
it's a deep dive.
100%.
You know.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Just wait for next show.
I was about to say he'll have a lot more to tell us next week.
Love pirates, dude.
And the thing is, I don't even need to read a book or listen to a podcast
Also,
because I have Cam.
I didn't know that most pirates started pirating because of religion and politics.
I feel like everything goes back to
because
religion.
it actually had nothing to do with getting rich. It was all religion and politic based.
It's like, oh, those guys are Protestant or they're Catholic. Well, I'm going to rob them, so they can't have anything.
And especially in I mean, this is going to sound dumb, but the golden age of pirates was in the Caribbean. So, the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wait a minute. Do pirates in Caribbean have any kind of like correlation there, or
I don't think I've heard any.
Not to my knowledge.
No.
Did pirates smoke pipes? Is all I want to know.
Definitely could have.
Probably.
Had to have.
I would imagine.
Because I think that's a decent enough segue. So go ahead and pull up that chair.
Pour up that drink.
And light that cigar.
Because it's time for episode 72 of Sports and Stogies. Cam.
Yeah. Don't say it with a question mark. You know
I didn't write it down, though.
Yeah, but you know.
Definitely 72.
Yeah, you know.
I know.
Get that confidence back, brother. Come on now. We're all fed, happy, sailing away on our...
The first ever non-Papa Hayes or Mama Kel pre-show meal came from courtesy of old McDonald's.
Yeah. When you texted me that and said McDonald's, I almost told you no.
Because you called it what, McDanks? Which is apparently, we know what the kids call it nowadays.
You
No,
say
that's what
that.
the kids called it when I was...
Nah, dude. It's
growing
always
up.
been McDonald's.
Dude, I stick
Always
with
has
this
been,
that
always will
Austin
be.
probably heard McDonald's once by somebody that's like 50 years older than him, and he's
Ran
like,
with
"This
it.
is what the children are saying."
McDonald's,
Yes,
dude.
this
for
is
sure.
That was the youngest guy he knew.
I know, dude. Youngest guy that went to school with him.
Hey, back in my day, you know, a McDouble was 5 cents.
Yeah, I bet it was.
A Mac double.
Yeah, Mac
Yeah,
double,
McDouble,
dude.
dude. Come on. Get you a Big Mac.
That one is allowable because it's not called a Big Mick.
Honestly,
Jim
it
Mac
should
chicken?
be though.
Could you imagine if it was a Big Mick, dude? That'd be
No.
terrible.
Big Mick
Nobody
sounds
would
like
ever
a
get that.
nasty trucker.
It
No one would
does.
ever order that.
It does, dude. It sounds like a truck. Oh, yeah.
Dude, it sounds like the guy hanging around lot lizards a little bit too much. Big
I don't
Mick.
think I know that term, Shane.
You've heard of a lot lizard.
Please expand.
This is new territory for me, brother.
Neither of you guys know what a lot lizard is?
Definitely not.
You know what, dude, that look on your face tells me that you're familiar.
I need a refresher, maybe.
I don't think you do.
Go ahead and expand. Just for the listeners out there who maybe don't know.
A lot lizard is a, what's the correct term?
Prostitute.
A prostitute that hangs out around like where truckers park. Truck stops. Or lots, if you will.
So what would the benefit of that be, per se?
Well, you've already said that they're a prostitute, right?
I mean, you saying could they maximize their value, maybe?
if they just hang around there.
With a lot of traffic coming in and out?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm picking up what you're laying down here.
They stay busy.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Maybe jump from one truck to the next.
I don't see why you wouldn't.
Again, it's good business.
Mhm.
Speaking of good business, Shane, give us some promo here, please.
You guys know where to follow us at Sports and Stogies on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok.
Hang on, I just learned how to do the coolest thing
No,
ever.
dude, I was watching the whole
We
time.
all saw
That's
it,
why I
yeah.
slowed down.
Dude, this is insane. You
Yeah.
don't even have to inhale to blow those. Your pipe automatically blows the no for you.
Hold on, dude. Do that again.
It's pretty dope.
Why haven't...
I just tried it. Because normally you lightly blow up to keep the flame lit.
Yeah.
But if you burst it, dude, I just realized, that's a perfect O.
Do it again.
It's very visually stimulating.
No, it really is.
Nice.
This man's learning new things by the day with the pipe. Now, Shane, back to promo. Which
As I was
we're
saying,
so bad at.
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, anywhere you listen to podcasts on. We are on X. We have a Reddit. And it should be it.
And if they want to hear the actual show, where could they go to?
Anywhere they listen to podcasts on Austin.
Such as?
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts. Yeah.
YouTube.
I said YouTube earlier.
But you
Yeah,
should
but
say it when
not-
you're promoting
yeah.
the podcast part too, like where to listen.
Okay.
Now, Cam, what is actually in that pipe that you are smoking?
Same as last week, the Blood Cult Red Moon. Still delicious.
Again, still smells just incredible.
Amazing. Not tired of it. Love it. Honestly, I do enjoy this more than smoking cigars.
Officially.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not saying I won't have the occasional cigar because I will. Like, obviously, the Super Bowl, we have the Super Bowl sticks. That'll be consumed at that point. But definitely, I think I smoke it slower.
Naturally, I feel like. Yeah.
I feel like it is a little bit more relaxing. Believe it or not, I do. I think the flavors are easier to pick out for beginners. I think Shane should get into it.
I can't see Shane smoking a pipe.
I don't think I
He's
can
not
no.
really built like that. Honestly. Shane, are you smoking tonight?
No, I'm not.
Of course not.
Just
But
a mint Mr. Fall.
just a Marlboro Red over there?
I
you
might
got?
light up a little Marlboro.
I mean, hey, man, there's lighters in here. I happen to have I went kind of off the wall today with a brand I don't really care for. I went Christoph. This is their Ligero Maduro. It's a 7x52,
Can you
a
hand me a
Brazilian
lighter?
wrap. Dude, there's like 9 lights in here, dude. It's like a match. Brazilian wrapper,
Yeah,
which I
light
do
a
love.
Siggy with a match like a classy man, dude.
Like back in the old days, dude. Like Cary Grant over here. It's a Cuban seed Dominican binder and then Dominican and Nicaraguan filler. So again, I'm not a huge Christoph fan, but so far, excellent burn, excellent draw. Flavor-wise, pretty standard Maduro. It's dark, it's leather, it's earth, a little bit of dark coffee, maybe a slight chocolate. Have you ever lit a match before?
Shake it.
Yeah, just shake it, dude. You don't have to blow on it. It's not a birthday candle. Have you ever
Dude.
smoked a cigarette before?
Speaking of birthday, my birthday's on the Super Bowl this year.
On the day of.
On the day of, dude.
No kidding.
Nice. Congratulations.
So we were recording either that
So are
Wednesday
you
or
throwing
Tuesday.
a Super Bowl / birthday party?
I don't know what I'm doing, dude. Everyone keeps asking me, and I don't know.
Okay,
Gonna
well,
go to
we're not
B-dubs
just
and watch the game.
everyone. We're pretty important. I'd like to think so, at least.
I think
know,
we
but
just go to B-dubs, watch the game,
That's what I'm thinking.
ignore your birthday.
Probably, honestly. I've never really liked to celebrate it. Personally, I don't like...
I'm the same way. I feel like once
Well,
you
especially
pass,
when you're in your 20s.
yeah, once you pass like
Like,
21,
at this point, you have to just go every 10 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like when you hit 30. Okay, cool.
And maybe even like 30 to 50.
Yeah,
Like maybe you get a little cupcake.
like when I turn 27, like I don't need a party, man.
Like, Michaela asked me what kind of cake I want her to make, and I'm like, you don't have to.
She's going to bake a cake?
She's gonna bake a cake, dude.
Nice.
It's a dedicated woman.
I know.
Box or from scratch?
I think from scratch, because she asked like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "I guess a yellow cake or a chocolate cake or something," and she's like, "No, like, if like you're just thinking of something that isn't normally cake that you think you would want in a
And
cake."
you're like, well, if you're going to say that, I'd have to go German triple chocolate with vanilla filling.
A lot of
maybe.
fondant.
Yeah, just go with the most elaborate cake you can think of.
I kind of did that, and I think she's actually gonna make
Did you
it.
Google elaborate cakes?
No.
What did you lay down?
I was
What
thinking
were your
about-
parameters.
So the last like dessert thing that I ate was crumble cookie, and I got one of those Neapolitan thing with like the chocolate, the vanilla, the strawberry. I'm like, I guess a Neapolitan cake would be cool. And she goes, "So you're?" I don't even know how the fuck I make that without getting 3 different cakes and just cutting them differently, and then having just portions in the cabinet. I'm like,
She's
yeah.
clearly not a baker.
I mean, you would have to make like 3 different cake batters.
Yeah.
Batters, yes, but not.
And then, honestly, you'd probably have to make like a third of a circle if you did like a circle cake.
Oh, if you're going
and then
circle, then
put
yeah,
them all together.
That's way different. I'm
That'd be-
thinking
I
like a
feel
sheet
like-
cake.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, is a sheet cake. But if she layers it, she layers it. I don't really care.
Wow, layer. Yeah, of course, it'd be much
Yeah.
easier.
Layered sheet cake, dude.
Oh man,
You get vanilla, strawberry, chocolate on every bite.
That's
Oh,
what I was thinking.
Are we getting making an ice cream cake too on top?
No, that'd
Dude,
be too easy.
are we getting an invite to this? Shane's Super Bowl birthday party?
I don't even know if
Sheet cakes are big, dude. You can't do that ball by yourself.
Look, we'll be happy to help you, consume some of the cake. I mean, do we want to go? Not really, but I guess as friends, we'll be there to help
We have
you eat
to. We're
some of the
obligated.
cake.
Huh?
We're obligated.
You're obligated?
Naturally.
Do you guys
As-
just want to go to B-Dubs?
No.
No?
No,
No.
First of all, do you want to go to B-Dubs?
No.
I don't care where we go.
It's your birthday.
I know. I just want to go
It's
somewhere.
our Super Bowl, but it's your birthday.
I just want to go somewhere.
So the least we could do is let you pick the restaurant or a sports bar.
I don't even know of any good ones around here, honestly.
Applebee's.
Dollaritas.
I don't know if they're doing that promo anymore. I think it's back to all you
Well,
can eat
for a
apps.
birthday boy, I think they might allow
If
that.
they do Dollaritas, it's gonna be a long night, dude.
Well, Super Bowl's already long.
But I got a 20 for you right here.
$20.
Get a Twinsky.
Dude.
If you get through half, I'll be impressed.
If you get $20, they should just give you like 10 regular sized.
Just
right?
bring the pitcher. Yeah. Come
Just
on.
start bringing out a Mark pitcher at that point.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah. I guess there's a new sports bar like right across the street from Applebee's, and it's like a Mexican food sports bar, which doesn't sound bad.
I mean, I'll bash chips and queso all night. With, again, probably $2 Dollaritas.
I'm sure. Well, I mean, there's about a month. So,
2 weeks.
yeah, well, about a month.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Half a month. You got time to figure out what sports bar you'd like to go to.
That's true.
And
are
which
we
cake?
off on Super Bowl Sunday?
That is actually a good question. What's the actual date on that? Like the first weekend of February?
It's the 11th.
The 11th. I want to say we are off.
That'd be huge.
Feb 11th, we are most definitely off.
Sweet. Celebrate Shane's B-Day?
Maybe finally meet this alleged Michaela,
Allegedly.
who may or may not be actually real, and or may or may not be making an actual cake.
How am I supposed to know? I've never met her.
Me neither, pal. You think it's your, co-workers, colleagues, and alleged good friends.
He was in my wedding.
We both were, but what are we apparently?
You guys met my former girlfriend before that.
Before your wedding, I did indeed.
So,
Yeah.
and then you met her, were there when she became my wife.
Allegedly.
I was indeed.
I can't get
So
over
will we
watching.
will we just be there when she becomes your wife and that's it? The one time?
Maybe.
Never to be seen again?
That comment. No.
By all accounts, you do. I mean, you are much happier. You're still honeymoon Shane.
I am a lot happier.
Oh, he's definitely honeymoon for sure.
Your show energy is much better.
You guys should not have brought up smoking cigarettes.
Now you're gonna burn through the whole pack.
I really might.
Good. We're both smoking here.
Just have another one.
We got a pipe, a cigar, and a pack of Marlboros, man. Let's light them up.
That's what they're there for.
Let's go to fan questions. Now that we're down to 4 teams left in the NFL, who had the most disappointing season in your mind? I have a clear answer, I think.
So it's hard to say, in my opinion, because a lot of the teams that were expected to do good were doing good until injuries. So the only team that wasn't was the New York Giants, but I don't think they had any expectations.
It made the playoffs last year, but no high hopes there.
The only team that wasn't hurt that had high expectations were your second favorite team, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Didn't have that, but they're definitely up there. I go clear.
Still, I'm going to have to say the Bengals.
Even going 9-8 with no Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I think it's clearly Jacksonville.
I did forget
Yes,
that
Trevor
you
Lawrence
loved
was
NFL
a
Trevor
little
Lawrence.
banged up, but should have won that division by at least a couple of games. Should have been
Division was a lot tougher than you expected, though.
yeah, but preseason you think, oh, Houston's going to be trash. You didn't know C.J. Stroud and D'Amico
Well,
Ryans.
You didn't.
You did. You think Indianapolis, even with a healthy Tony Rich, would be trash? I can't stop watching Shane smoke a cigarette. It's so weird.
Just flick it, dude.
Yeah.
Right on the floor.
But after a great start, would have been the 1 seed, and then to totally collapse like that. I guess the same could go for Philly as well, but I think Jacksonville for sure in the AFC in a weak division, which should have progressed, bringing in Calvin Ridley especially. A huge letdown for me and surely their fans and the team. I think it's a clear most disappointing in my mind.
It's hard not to say Philly, though. Because even leading up to like all of the injuries that they were playing through, they were like 1-5 in their last 6.
1-7.
1-7.
Count the playoff game.
Yeah. Like that, dude, that's a rough stretch from 10-1.
Fired Deco already, even though Matt Patricia took over play calls when they started their skid.
Who is also gone.
Was he? I didn't see that.
He's at least allowed to talk with other teams, which means we're not bringing you back.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
But Sirianni is back, by all accounts.
I think he should be.
At least one more year, right?
Yeah. I mean, Super Bowl, wild card, still high seed, like still one of the best records in the league. I wouldn't say you're a failure. You know?
Shane,
And he could get the Mike McCarthy treatment where he'll just never get fired because they're always 11-5.
That'd be wonderful. That'd be great. I love that. Thanks for mentioning that name, which I didn't have written down on any of my pieces of paper tonight.
Well, I like to bring references that everyone can understand,
Of course.
the fans.
Yeah.
All the people who voted the Cowboys as the
Should have been unanimous
bum of the week.
Was there a vote for anybody else?
I think there was 11 for the Cowboys, like 3 for Sirianni.
That's 3 too many.
And like, it was very minimal.
Yeah, should have been clear Dallas all the way. Shane, any clear disappointing team for you?
Other than the Eagles, not really.
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm disappointed in Dallas because I think we all kind of saw it coming.
Again,
Happens every
you
year.
win the 2 seed. That's a great season for any other team.
You know, there's only 2 teams in the
My
NFC
God.
that haven't made a conference championship since 1995.
Does Shane know who those 2 teams are?
It's the Dallas Cowboys,
And
Obviously is one.
and
it's not the Bears.
Shockingly.
it's not the Bears.
Bears, 2011.
So with Jay Cutler,
Smoking Jay, dude. Come on.
Definitely had Brian Urlacher, who's my standout by far. I think they also win 2009.
NFC teams that haven't gone since.
There's only one
95.
more.
I'm trying to think of
This
someone.
team's last appearance was 92.
Which, when I think they won the Super Bowl, It's pretty obvious if you think about how bad this team is and has been for pretty much your entire life.
Since 95, probably.
I want to give a clear hint, but I'd give it away.
Maybe there was some controversy.
They might play
Around this
Dallas
team.
pretty often.
Oh, Washington.
Clearly.
Correct.
Washington.
I'm just going to stick with Washington.
Okay.
Football team, right?
Did you know that the Cowboys' championship drought is only 5 years longer than Cleveland's?
Really?
I mean, what's 5 years really? Kind of the same thing, right?
Basically.
crazy?
But we're all in the same boat here. Lovable losers. Right?
Except everybody loves when the Cowboys lose.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
And I can't even, feel bad about when you guys give me shit for us being so terrible. Because, I try to build you guys up. We all love the Browns. I was hoping for a Brown Super Bowl run, right? But when you say I hope Dallas loses to Green Bay in the first round, I
Who
can't.
said that?
Yeah, it's been made clear.
I didn't say that. I would love for the Browns and Cowboys to play in the Super Bowl every year.
You don't want that.
I was rooting for the Cowboys.
No, don't
I
look
was.
at me in my eyes and bullshit me.
I'm not bullshitting you.
Come on now.
I'm being so serious.
No.
I was, and then we turned the game off at halftime.
Yeah, it's too long, honestly.
Actually, it might have been mid-second quarter.
Okay, but if your girlfriend was not a Cowboys fan, would you have felt the same?
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
Absolutely not.
Next fan queue. Is it too early to already say Pat Mahomes is a top 5 quarterback all time?
I was thinking about that when you asked the question, and there are 4 quarterbacks that I think you can say are clearly above him.
If you retired right now,
You have to say Brady, Manning, Rodgers, Montana, and then 5 kind of gets hazy.
and even Mahomes versus Rodgers, I think is a serious debate.
I'll be honest, I feel like Montana's kind of overrated.
Look, it's tough to say because we didn't get to actually watch him.
Yeah.
But 4-0.
But he had Jerry Rice.
Yes, and that helps.
And Jerry also did it with Steve Young.
Who was
a
also a
good
Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
Correct. But not in the top 5 mention. And I'll be honest, I think Joe Montana's a little overrated.
Okay, so your top 5.
I would say, in order,
Clear Brady 1 across the board. Has to be.
most accomplished, not most talented. So how are we doing this?
I think you have to take both
That's a
into
different debate.
consideration.
'Cause again, Brady is probably top 5 most talented.
Agreed. But I think Aaron Rodgers is the most talented
Clear.
quarterback that has
Yeah.
ever graced the NFL.
I agree.
So,
You're comparing stats, talent, and record, or resume.
well, if resume is included, Brady has to be number 1.
We have to include resume. Yeah,
So
that's how we measure quarterbacks in 2024.
Brady, Rodgers, Manning.
I don't want to say Favre.
No,
Top.
that'd be like saying Tony Romo.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far, but Fabre's top 10 for sure.
Honestly, I'll give it to Breeze.
Numbers wise,
I think his talent, his resume is not great, but I think his talent just takes it for me. Kind of the reason why Rodgers is in the top 5. Again, not a great resume, not a terrible one, not as bad as Drew Brees' with the MVPs, but not a lot of Super Bowls. Brees only has 1, but the things that Brees was able to do with a football is just magical. So yeah, my top 5. I think Mahomes. It's hard to keep him out, but it feels weird to put him in.
yeah, the only argument against him is longevity, because he's 28 years old?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is wild, but
he's
he's been
just got to do it for
6
10 more
straight
years.
Conference championship games.
Yeah,
And yes, you say he has Andy Reid, he had Tyreek, he has Kelsey. A great system to be brought into, but I think he's already in there. Because I go Breeze, I go Peyton, I go Marino, which again, not a great resume, no ring, but you put Marino in today's NFL, it's over 7,000 yards a season,
yeah, you're probably not wrong.
Elway gets no love, I don't think, even with 3 rings and solid numbers. I think just based on talent, yeah, Rodgers has to be in there.
It's weird because it's like if you just go off resume, then it completely changes.
Yeah, I mean, if your resume, do you throw Terry Bradshaw in there? You know,
Yeah, that guy was
it's turd.
yeah.
I know what you want to say. Yeah,
That guy was a turd.
but 4 rings, no losses. So I think it's Brady, it's Manning, it's Montana, and then I'd probably go Rodgers and Mahomes overall.
I mean, yeah.
Because again, you want to put Marino in there, but no ring. Tough to go top 5 all time with no ring.
Yeah.
When we measure all quarterbacks by, I mean, unrightfully so, do they have a ring or not? I mean, Eli has 2. Is Eli even a top 25 quarterback all time?
Probably top 25.
You think?
Probably top 25.
If you round the list down, then maybe. But there's debate to be had. As a guy that watched Eli way too much, and a guy that actually watched Eli beat us way too much, maybe he is top 25. What the hell do I know?
He's got to be top 25.
All time?
He wasn't that bad.
He wasn't that good.
I don't know. He's got to be top 25 all time.
Shane, questions, comments, concerns?
He's definitely top 25, dude.
Not even just Eli, just on the whole.
I mean, I think the only way that you could edge Mahomes out of the top 5 is if you put Breeze in there over him. But even then, he's probably number 6. And, barring some crazy injury, he's going to be top 5 probably in the next couple years.
Yeah, if you go based on projected, he should finish 2
Number
Yeah.
1.
behind Brady.
Maybe even number 1.
Possibly.
He's in his first 6 years as a starter, and he's already got 2 rings. I think that's around what Brady had.
I feel like nobody's ever going to surpass 7 rings, but if anybody could,
It's
it's
probably
Mahomes,
him.
right?
He's what, 3 appearances, 2 rings?
Yeah.
So on this trajectory,
Again,
if
by
you're-
age 28.
if you're going to, let's just say it stays the same,
And
you're
not even
going to-
counting this current year.
Correct. So we'll say out of 5 years, you've been to the Super Bowl 3 times. You've won 2. So every 5 years, you're guaranteed 3 Super Bowls. Right?
Guarantee's a strong word, but
You're based on his career path, every 5 years, you're likely to get 2 Super Bowl rings. He would have to play to get 7. He'd have to play what? He's got 2. He needs 5 more.
You'd have to play 20.
No, he'd have to play like 15 more years
and that's also the thing with Brady, like the longevity. You know,
to pass Brady.
Oh, to pass
he
him.
won rings like 20 years apart.
Yeah, that's unreal. I mean, I don't think that'll ever
never
happen.
happening. As a starter, come on now.
But yeah, it's hard to say Brady's not number 1 just because, like, I mean, I guess you could argue that same thing with like the LeBron, Michael Jordan
Yeah,
conversation.
I think at least there's a debate with LeBron and Jordan. There's no debate anymore. Brady's clear 1.
I would have to agree.
Yeah.
Except, I mean, there's some people out there that wouldn't agree,
Dumb people.
but
Shane, question, comment.
I agree. Brady's the GOAT. Did you guys see
you're so
that?
smart.
Did you guys see that at the beginning of the season, San Fran was going to bench Purdy if they could get Brady to come and play?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Or
so
they
would anybody.
They were like actively trying to get Brady to come out of retirement and play for them.
Could you imagine Brady with that offense?
It'd be hard.
What would
Knowing
he
what we
have
know.
to do?
We saw Brady with Moss, which was one of the best quarterback years of all time. If Brady had that offense,
It's almost hard to
He could-
imagine.
he could
him
play
saying
left-handed.
No.
yeah.
Like I can't believe that he said no to that.
Man's retired.
Well, he owns
know.
stake in a team.
7 rings. What more?
There'd be
what
a
else do you have
lot
to
of
prove?
hoops that he'd have
You
to
know.
jump through to get back into being able to even play on a roster.
Now, top 5 overall. Would you say, Shane, that Joe Flacco could possibly be in that conversation?
I think he cracks in there, considering the Cleveland run.
Fringe, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I want to go over to this too. It wasn't officially a fan Q, but who is the current best white American in the NBA?
It's Chet, right?
Chad
Like
or
it's gotta
Brooke
be Chet.
Lopez?
Because
Chet, Brooke Lopez, and then it's a drastic drop off.
there's only one guy currently averaging 50, 40, 90, and it's Grayson Allen.
But he's not.
Like he can't be the best, right? That's not the best that we have to offer.
No.
There's so many more aspects of the game than efficient shooting.
Yeah.
He's going to be Kyle Korver. He's going to be that kind of player. And at one time, Kyle Korver was probably the best white American.
He was playing with, J.J. Redick and Jason Kidd still.
Well, late kid.
Well, late kid. Even late kid was better than prime
No.
Kyle Korver. Come on.
No.
Absolutely.
Kyle Korver was insane, dude.
At one thing. Sure.
Correct. But late Jason Kidd was good at nothing.
Or coaching, too.
Although I will say the one time he spilled coffee on the floor to get an extra timeout,
Pretty genius.
that was great coaching. I will say. Great coaching.
An unorthodox play call. Sure.
But amazing. I'm surprised it hasn't been done again.
It's got to happen soon, right?
You got to think.
In the playoffs, I'm doing it every game
Oh,
7.
yeah.
Oh, my God. What an accident. Spilled my coffee. My bad.
Or maybe they banned
Coaches can't have drinks
spillable cups. Maybe it has to be capped
or a
One of
Stanley.
drinks.
One of those little sippy cups that you can turn over and then it won't
Dude.
spill.
If they made all coaches have to mandatory take sippy cups,
No, I think they can only have bottles. It has to have a screwable cap. I don't even think they could have a cup like this, like a tumbler.
okay, so let's say J Kidd says, "Oh, I forgot, I lost my cap. Sorry."
You're mid drink. Bump me, dude.
Boom. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're set. There's a free 45 right there. Let's draw something up.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Chet, right?
It's got to be Chet.
I think so.
Even in year one,
Yeah, because not including Europeans, it really narrows it down.
just straight homegrown American fellas, dogs. Gotta
It's
be Chet.
Yeah.
Time for Blast to the Past. This week, thanks to our boy TB.
It's a off the wall one, but
I
definitely
love it though.
Definitely controversial.
Shane, what do you know about the Chris Paul vetoed trade to the Los Angeles Lakers?
So at the time, the league owned the Pelicans, or what's now the Pelicans.
Let's
then it was
say
the-
prior to researching, what did you know,
I knew that
if anything?
I knew that the league owned Charlotte, and I knew that David Stern vetoed the
I
trade.
mean New Orleans.
At the time with New
Yeah.
Orleans.
The New Orleans ordinance.
Yeah, I knew that the league or David Stern vetoed the trade, but he was also technically the owner of one of the teams. I know that it was really controversial because, that was essentially the league saying this isn't fair. We're not doing that. But then after researching, I found out that it was pretty much like a collective decision by the owners. And there are quotes in this article from the owner of the Cavaliers that said, where is it?
That it pretty much wouldn't be fair. They'd be too dominant, which I think one is incorrect, but
So it said that you'd be turning 25 out of the 30 teams into the Washington Wizards.
which is insane.
That's
right?
a hilarious quote, though.
Yeah, it
The
is.
Wizards have been bad for that
for
long.
at that time, yeah. So the proposed trade would have sent Chris Paul at the time, a Hornet, to LA, Pau Gasol,
LAL.
LAL, Pau Gasol to the Rockets, and then Lamar Odom, Luis Scola, Kevin Martin, and at the time Goran Dragic to the Hornets, plus a 2012 first round pick. If that had gone through, would it have changed the landscape of, at the time's NBA? Is Chris Paul, Kobe, and then eventually Dwight Howard that dominant where owners would be scared of a team like that?
It shouldn't be.
Not to mention no supporting cast.
I don't know if Chris Paul and Kobe would have meshed well,
They couldn't have, right?
just because they're both kind of that alpha dog mentality.
I really think that it came down to the financials because Charlotte was already a team, or New Orleans was already a team that didn't have an owner. So, no one was stepping up to buy it.
And that's weird enough by
And
itself
if-
because prior to that season was the lockout
Yeah.
where literally the NBA, the league, bought the team,
Mhm.
which is bizarre enough by itself,
Got to keep it, dude.
Well,
right?
Chris Paul's probably their only draw at that time.
He
Especially
definitely
then.
was.
You
Yeah.
trade him, then your next biggest draw is
At the time, would have been Lamar Odom,
Lamar Odom,
probably.
which,
Or no, Pau Gasol.
no, he was going to Houston.
He's going to
Oh,
Houston.
that's right, he
Yeah.
was going to
So you have
Houston.
Lamar Odom and Luis Scola.
That's who you're trying to market. I mean, if we're being super, super honest, it was definitely a financial move. because you can't have a team that already can't find an actual owner, and their biggest draw is Goran Dragic and Lamar Odom. You know what I mean?
Maybe Lamar Odom's career would have turned out a little better.
So at the time, the Hornets also had Trevor Ariza,
Okay. Young Trevor, not bad.
Jared Bayless,
Ooh.
Marco Bellinelli,
The Bellster, dude?
the Bellster. This says
Another sneaky guy for grids. I forgot about Marco Bellinelli.
this says Patrick Ewing. That can't be right. The 2010 Hornets. There's no way. There's no way, right?
When did Pat Ewing retire?
But like 02, dude. There's no
This
way.
guy, like Pat Ewing from like the 80s.
Like the Patrick Ewing. He
There
could not have
had
played.
to be a second one.
He couldn't have played for the 2010 Hornets. This guy's 6'8".
Yeah, it says that he retired in 2002.
Yeah, this
So this is a different Pat Ewing.
They need to put a reference on there.
Well, you could just click his name, probably.
Jarrett Jack, legend.
Okay.
How about Pops Mensah Bunau?
Legend.
Amigo Okafor, quality. Quincy Pondexter,
Not bad.
Washington legend. And somehow still the Peja Stojakovic.
Oh.
So, okay, some names. But yes, I mean, Lamar
They
Odom
were
would-
really riding on people thinking that was
Yeah.
the real Pat Ewing.
Yeah. Lamar Odom, he would have been the guy on that team.
Yeah.
And again, I don't see a Chris Paul, Kobe Lakers making any kind of noise in that. with that
Maybe
team.
make some noise, but I don't think they're a championship team. I don't know. Because the problem is,
You're still playing against the Kawhi
well,
and then Duncan,
yeah,
Parker,
Chris
Ginobili,
Paul-
late Spurs,
is a pass-first point guard, but he's still a ball-dominant point guard.
Kobe, dominant player.
Ball-dominant shot creator.
Yeah.
That's most of his shots were him dribbling and creating a shot.
You don't see much Kobe off-ball highlights.
Correct. So, and he was already an established superstar. Chris Paul was a young guy coming into the league.
Chris Paul at the time, I think, was 26.
He was what? A couple years in? I think
Yeah.
he was drafted. When was Chris Paul drafted? 06?
Probably say 06, 07.
So you're talking 5 years in the league, still young.
But an established, probably top 3 point guard
Yeah.
in the league.
But you also have a lot of media buildup, a lot of hype. You already have attitude issues.
So he had been there for 5 years?
Okay.
Checks out, yeah.
So you already have attitude issues, and you're going to mesh with a guy who, I don't want to say had attitude issues himself, but wasn't necessarily a great teammate.
It's Mamba.
Yeah.
Like, it's his team. It's his game.
Yeah. Like he needed a Derek Fisher.
Which is why they won 2 years prior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just, Derek Fisher goes out there, does his thing, whatever that may have been.
And give the ball to Kobe.
Yeah.
Do the Rockets get any better? Again, pre-James Harden
I don't know who the Rockets had.
in 2010, 2011. We'll pull that up. But does Pau Gasol and Luis Scola?
I don't like the Powell slander that I feel like.
No,
you're
I love
doing a
Pau
little
Gasol.
bit. I think Powell was a lot better
Hall of
than
Famer,
your-
right? At least borderline.
I think he's definitely a Hall of Famer, but I think you're underselling how good Pau Gasol was.
But we were talking 2010 Pau.
Still pretty solid.
Not as a one man, but
Well, we don't
quality
know.
second man. Quality, great third man.
I think great second man.
So 2010 Rockets, let's pull that up.
Still a dominant rebounder too. Big Pau.
They had Shane Battier,
Okay.
Aaron Brooks, point guard. Again, got Goran Dragic eventually. Jared Jeffress, a young Kyle Lowry, Kevin Martin, still had Yao Ming, probably his last year.
Yeah, I think so.
Hashim Thabit, grid legend. Ish Smith. So yeah, again, not a great team. I don't think Pau Gasol makes them
Championship team
No,
Yeah.
not a chance.
with Pau. Championship.
No.
That's what they were talking about. They couldn't have Pau going to the Rockets. Houston's a poverty franchise.
That was the whole reason the trade got shot down.
Yeah, they said we already had Hakeem. We don't need Powell coming in, making them good again. They got to go on a skid.
So should the league have shot that down?
I don't think so.
I don't think the league should be involved in anything like that.
Even
to be honest,
they shouldn't own a team in the
correct. They should
first
not
point,
have owned
but
a team in general. But I don't think the league should. In my opinion, if both teams agree,
all
then-
3 teams agree.
Yeah, if everyone agrees, then why are you vetoing a trade?
Again, like Shane said, apparently the owners all came together and said, "Hey, Stern, we cannot let this happen because they'll be too good, too dominant." Meanwhile, you already had the LeBron, Wade,
Spurs.
Bosch, and the Spurs,
Yeah,
who were again at the tail end, but still.
I mean, maybe you're scared after the Heat forms. Like, hey, super
But
teams.
yeah, you already have one super team. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's like there was nothing stopping Chris Paul from signing with the Lakers when his contract was up.
well,
And-
10 days later, he was traded to the Clippers,
yeah,
which we know what happened there. So, yeah, bizarre
whole lot of nothing.
circumstances, but even to think what could have been, I don't think it would have been that different. I don't think it would have changed
No.
what happened
No,
anyway.
because what did the Lakers do after that?
Nothing
Nothing.
until LeBron came in the bubble and they won that title.
Yeah.
They had 7-8 years of being
Horrible.
not making the playoffs.
Yeah, very mediocre.
Again, Rockets would have eventually got James Harden. Again, they weren't a title team.
Probably could
Did
have been.
they play for one?
I don't think they played.
They didn't
in
get
the
to one, right?
finals. I think they went to a conference championship.
Pelicans, or at the time the Hornets, would have been the same.
Yeah.
Nothing changed there.
I mean, we're still waiting on that.
and eventually, I mean, Golden State still would have been what they became.
Yeah, they drafted.
Yeah. So I don't think the trade would have actually mattered all that much.
Maybe they get a couple more playoff appearances in that 2014, I think. They had a very small window before Golden State really popped off.
Yesterday they had still drafted AD, and you've got AD and Lamar
Luis
Odom
Scola.
and Luis Scola. I mean, is that a team you're scared of? I don't think so. So the only question is, if Chris Paul and Kobe could have coexisted, and I think we all agree that it wouldn't have worked.
I don't think so.
So thank you, TB, for that great blast to the past. Of course, you guys have your own suggestions. Send them in to probably email, be the best bet.
Email, comment them,
Text us.
comment, anything. Text us if you have our personal numbers, which most of you do. So, yeah, just give us a shout. See us in person. Give us a shout.
I think we've already got one in line for next week, which I think I'll save for the actual show.
Well, no, we need to research it.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you guys afterwards, but not on air.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Let's say it involves a very crucial call that happened in this week's playoffs.
Okay. I think I have an idea.
And let's go to NFL news and stats. Shane, the first thing you have written down.
Antonio Pierce has the job in Vegas.
They actually
Which-
listened to the players.
Players spoke.
Who
They
would've
got
thought?
what they wished.
Correct move, right?
I think so.
I root for the guy.
They-
I mean,
they
he kind of
played-
turned around what he had left.
Complete
Yeah.
180 after he got hired or was promoted.
But at the same time, how long is it before he loses the locker room, too? You know?
Or stops doing so much with what little talent he has.
Correct. Yeah, I don't know. Good move for now. Definitely, you keep the team you have. You have maybe he can fire some people up to feel like they want to go join the Raiders. I don't know. Maybe they draft well, figure something out.
That's a long shot.
But I feel like they're very Chicago Bears-esque.
In drafting, absolutely.
Yeah, and then just making weird decisions. I will say they're more go-getters in the sense of like paying people to come play for them, like they did with Devontae Adams.
I don't know. They drafted all right for a little bit. They had Henry Ruggs. They had Josh Jacobs.
Okay. You
Derek Carr.
can't say Henry Ruggs. It was a great draft pick.
He was good,
He was good.
He wasn't even that good, though.
but he was.
He was
He
good.
just made a bad decision.
Yeah.
Pull up Henry Ruggs' stats. He was not worth a first-round pick.
I think he's a lot better than I think you're underestimating
This
how
could
good
be
Henry Ruggs was.
equivalent to my Vinatieri was not a Colt for that long take. I could be way off, but I don't think Ruggs was that
yeah,
good.
you said Vinatieri was a Colt for like 3 years.
I thought it was way shorter than he actually was. He was
It was
actually
like
a Colt
15.
longer than a
Yeah.
Patriot. Yeah. In the meantime, how are we feeling about the full slicked back Italian look here?
I like it.
Right?
It's different.
You know, I've been thinking like my hairline's not good enough to maintain a whole slick
You
back,
just got to rock it, dude.
but I'm kind of feeling it.
Rock it.
I'm rocking it.
So in a season, and that would have been
Give me Ruggs' best season.
what? It's not giving me actual career breakdowns. It's just giving
Just
me
go
a
to
total.
Football Reference,
Okay,
dude.
dude.
Hold on.
Do you not
Pro
use the
Football
internet?
Reference.
So
Henry
his,
Ruggs.
his rookie year. I'm telling you, they kind of have it.
What are you looking at right now?
All right, his rookie year,
Thank you, Cam.
he started 12 games, caught 26 balls for 452 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was averaging 17 yards per reception, 50% catch rate. His long was 72 yards. Or he had a 60% catch rate, sorry. Yards per target, 10.5. He also had 9 rushing attempts for 49 yards.
In his prime year, peak Henry Ruggs.
Started 7 games the year after, was on his way up. He had the same amount of catches already, 24 catches for 469 yards, 19 yards per catch, 2 scores already, with a 58% success rate in snaps. His long was 61 yards, his yards per game was 67, and his yards per target was 13 with a 66% catch rate.
Is that worth a first-round draft pick? Is that worth saying it was a success?
When he
Well, I
became
mean-
the number 1, yes,
Yeah,
which
that's-
was year 2.
That second year before he got in trouble, he was on pace to be over 1,000 yards.
Barely.
Not barely. He played, what, 6 games? And
Played
he had
7 games.
7.
7 games, he was at 450.
You're getting 1,100.
Yeah, that's solid.
I mean, what do you...
What do you want out
Is
of
1,000 yards the cutoff now?
I don't know. Maybe I'm way off. I just don't feel like he was a... To quote him as a great first-round draft pick, I feel like is maybe a little bit much.
I didn't say that he was great. I said they drafted all right. Like, Henry Ruggs was a decent draft pick.
I agree. I think he was a good draft pick.
Who is the Bears' equivalent? Is there one? Cole Kmet after 4 years?
I'll say Justin Fields is a good quarterback,
I think we're in the same boat there. Yeah.
so I don't think they missed there.
They did hire Shane Waldron, the Seahawks OC.
I think they need a guy like that.
So, does that answer any questions as to what they're going to do at quarterback?
No.
Does,
But
does he have any say in that?
I think he would be comfortable with a guy like Justin Fields with how mobile Russ was in the early days. So I think he would be able to bring more of a happy medium in the quarterback running and passing game.
I mean, he made Geno Smith a whole new career, really. So,
Tried.
briefly. So he can bring Fields to that next level, right?
I think so.
Hopefully. I hope they stick with Fields.
I think Fields was hitting the next level with what he had.
Yeah.
Which was
As
not much.
soon as they
Yeah.
gave him a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So hopefully they draft Marvin Harrison, and then they're good to go.
Yeah,
It's
I
definitely an
don't know.
upgrade. Got to be an upgrade,
I
right?
don't know. I think the Bears should have the least amount of draft picks as possible.
You've been on record saying that, yeah.
If there's one team that if I'm a different team, I want them to have as many draft picks as possible because I know I'm still going to get my guy,
I'm trading them my entire draft.
and I know that I will be able to sign all
Correct.
of my guys out of
Yeah.
undrafted free agency.
Yeah. Shane, tell us about Jimothy Harbaugh,
Looking like he brought his wife to an interview in L.A.
the second interview.
So did she go to the actual interview, or was she just in LA with him?
Now that I didn't see, but I know she was brought along.
So it said that.
I find it hard to
What was
believe-
the headline?
Jimmy Harbaugh brings wife to second interview. There's no way she was actually in the interview room, right? That'd be weird.
That can't be right.
But NFL interviews are pretty weird.
That is true. Most of them, I feel like, are just like we kind of have to do this
Yeah.
kind of things. I don't know. That's a weird. It's a weird thing.
Surely she just went out to like Nobu and saw Malibu Beach and had a good time for a weekend while he was actually interviewing.
You would think. But then again, it says brought his wife to the second interview.
And Jim Harbaugh is a weird guy.
That is, if there's any coach I could see actually bringing his wife into the interview, it would be Jim Harbaugh. But by all accounts, seems to be pretty much set in stone that he's going to the Chargers. Other news here, the Lions sign Zach Ertz. Totally out of the blue. Laporta banged up. Their second, third strings are all out.
So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it could get a couple snaps, 10 snaps or so.
I think he'll get more than we expect.
He was playing all right for Arizona at the beginning of the year. I don't know if he got cut for Trey McBride.
I definitely took over that job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he looked all right at the beginning of the season.
Does he make an impact against the Niners?
I'm assuming by all right you mean he had like a good fantasy game.
one good sleeper week.
No, he had a few decent weeks. Like,
Started in the lineup.
no.
He was on your bench.
Shane,
you lost it.
pull up
This is
Zach
what
Ertz.
happened.
Pull up Zach Ertz
This is what
season.
happened. He had him on the bench. He looked at his lineup and he was like, dude, if I would have started Zach Ertz, I'd have won.
I say Zach Ertz best game, 5 catches, 60 yards.
No score.
No score.
Shane's like, nope, it's actually 25 catches, 255 yards, and 6 scores.
So this year he had 43 targets.
I just want one game.
Huh?
Give me the game
by
log.
game breakdown.
Give me his best game. Is Shane the worst Googler of all time?
10 targets, 6 receptions, 50 yards, averages 8 and
What did I say? 6 catches, 50 yards.
8.8, and he had 2 touchdowns.
Boom.
2 scores, though.
Not in the same game. Probably not in that game.
No, that was
his
the
best game.
That
He
was
had 2
That was
scores.
one game?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was one game.
Take it back. Zach Ertz, Hall of Famer.
That means he definitely looked at it that week and was like, dude, if I would have started Zach freaking Ertz,
I'd
I'd
have
have
won
won
my
this game.
20
Fun fact,
points.
that was against the Niners.
Whoa. Dan Campbell knows something we don't.
Maybe.
Oh.
You guys put
That's
all
it.
your...
Mark it. Zach Ertz, 50 yards, 2 scores.
Again, we're not here to give financial and or betting
Was it
advice.
in San Francisco?
It was.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
again, bet the house on
Dan
Zach
Campbell's
Ertz.
cooking, dude.
2 tutties. Bring it home. And a couple stats here on the Mahomes note. Again, 6 straight AFC Championship game appearances. His whole career as a starter, he's never not made the AFC title game at least. Unreal.
3 of those were Super Bowl appearances. 2 of those Super Bowl appearances were wins.
And now him and Travis Kelce have the most tandem touchdowns in playoff history, surpassing Brady and Gronk.
And Kelsey is basically 1 game away from tying Jerry Rice's multi-touchdown and reception.
I think he's 6 catches behind, and 1 game back of multi-scores.
So he could tie the multi-score record and pass the reception record. He should pass the reception record regardless.
Which, again, is insane.
Best wide receiver of all time, Travis Kelce.
Book it. Let's go to the IR. A couple notable injuries still here to talk about. Debo, same shoulder.
50-50.
Apparently 50-50 to play against the Lions.
Well, that's okay because they have top 5 wide receiver Brandon Ayuk.
Top 3, maybe.
So it's okay if their top 5 wide receiver Debo Samuel's down.
Put in, David, not Boston. The rookie kid that just drafted. I want to say Campbell. That's definitely not right. Bell? It's not Bell. He's Brown, right?
David
is it
Bell
David
is
Bell?
a Brown.
David Bell's a Brown. Maybe it is definitely not David Boston. He's an old-time Buckeye, I think. Either way, next man up. Doesn't matter. You got all-star Brock Purdy, who I know you want to cover a little bit here,
I do. I'm getting tired of the slander.
which continues to
It's Ronnie Bell.
Ronnie Bell. That's right. Michigan legend.
Yeah. So I thought everybody loved an underdog story, but apparently nobody actually does
No, everyone's hating on Brock Purdy.
because this guy is in his 2nd year and is going to the NFC Championship again, which they may have won the first time if he didn't get out of.
They love that story for a year. And then it's like, oh, they're 13-3. Well, who cares?
All of a sudden, Brock Purdy's not an underdog anymore.
Apparently
he was
not.
the last
Mr. Irrelevant.
pick of the NFL draft.
I want to say that he's being.
I think he's being hated on more than Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I was just talking about in terms of like
And
Where
the
he
guy
was-
hasn't even won anything.
where he was drafted and how much he's getting paid. I want to say Jared Goff's making literally 40 times as much as he is.
Checks out. And again, we're going to have a Mr. Irrelevant versus a Mr. Number 1 overall pick in the NFC title game.
Yeah.
And you would think the guy was first overall, who's also dashingly good looking, would be more hated on.
God, I forgot Jared Goff was the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
He was. Dude, one of my favorite memes right now is that video of Jared Goff dressed up like Willy Wonka. And it's like, congrats, you've just been kicked out of the postseason. And he's doing the little Wonka dance with the Oompa Loompas singing.
Never seen it.
He didn't send it to you?
Hold on, dude.
Shane is the best at sending hilarious video
We
clips,
can watch
right?
it on break.
We won't, though. It's not funny. Shane has a very low percentage of great video shares, I think.
Out of a high percentage of video shares.
Dude.
Low percent gets me going, but the ones that do get me going, I roll, dude.
So he's a home run hitter. He might strike out 200 times, but he's hitting a 490-foot bomb
when he hits.
when he makes contact. And then Joe Tooney, the Chiefs All-Pro guard. Torn pec. Again, 50-50. Not the spot you want to be injured in against
Torn pec
a
is
great Baltimore front four, interior especially.
Have you ever seen a torn pec?
No, it's scary.
It's so gross.
Yeah, it's I don't want to think about it.
Just look up Cody Rhodes torn pec.
I don't want to.
It's pretty nasty.
He actually did a full WWE match with a torn pec.
It goes into like your arm.
It was his entire side.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's insane. But like he used it as like a crowd thing too. Like he slowly took off his jacket. Like
Naturally,
it was pretty
I've seen that clip.
but
He's all bruised up and everything.
Yeah, that's a torn pec.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, put that jersey on, put those pads on, cover that shit up, please. If he plays.
I would say probably sit this one out.
It's an AFC title game, though.
Dude, but
Guys play through way too much.
the problem is if you win, then you got to play in the Super Bowl.
We get a bye week.
Yeah, but your pec's already re-torn by that point.
Take it out, dude. Don't need it.
It's no pec, dude.
Ditch it.
It's only one tit on this dude.
Shane diagnosis on only having one pec.
I don't think it'd be very good for an O lineman.
Checks out. Makes sense.
Definitely a lot of pec usage.
A little bit.
Do you want to go to film room or take a break here, boys?
We are over an hour. Let's go ahead and take a break.
All right, episode 72 of SNS back after this. 100%.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed. You
I
absolutely
promise
guarantee
it's
it.
not lagging
We're
out.
rolling.
I'm watching the vocals right now.
We're
rolling.
currently live
Yes.
on air.
Yes.
You sure?
I'm positive.
All right, we trust you. Executive producer. It's about time we get back in shape, right?
I think so. I've pounded 2 cigarettes. Not feeling great about my health.
You can't, you can't say you've pounded 2 cigarettes.
I'm lighting up my third.
Nobody pounds 2 cigarettes.
I put them down pretty quick.
There's no hope we make the ad read better than last week, which was honestly my all-time favorite.
We
Pretty
might,
funny,
dude.
But
might.
as
You
for
don't
listening
know.
back, that was still hilarious. Either way, we got to get back in shape, right? I'm sick and tired of being a fat piece of shit.
So am I, man.
But the gym sucks.
The gym, especially this time of year,
Yeah,
man.
we hate going there,
That's Shane, who's actively going to the gym.
and
you
you're
have
still not
first-hand
drinking pop,
experience.
right?
Correct. Well, I'm saying he's actively going to the gym. He can give us the gym experience.
The gym sucks, though, especially in January, right?
You see a lot of goofy characters in there.
Well, that's the best part. It's just it's so busy. You can't get the equipment you want.
No,
crowded.
You can't get the equipment you want because Papaw's reading the newspaper on it for some
Well,
reason.
I'm glad Papaw is working out, but I need that spot, right?
Respectfully, Papaw, you'd get the same exercise regimen if you just took a walk.
Is there any solution to our woes?
I think there might be.
Cam? Could you possibly know a guy?
That's all you got?
That was, I mean, after Shane messed up the intro, I thought
I
it
didn't
was-
mess up shit.
That was a pretty
Come on.
quick riff, boys.
No?
Definitely not a whole lot of
I
comedy.
mean, I'll go for 10 minutes longer.
But I do have the guy you need.
Is it
certified
Richard Simmons?
personal trainer. It is the new age Richard Simmons.
Does he have videos on his website?
I think
Depends
he might.
on who you ask. Yes, Shane? Yes.
Absolutely.
If you go to his website, no. But Evan Keaton, ACE certified personal trainer. For all your personal training needs, what would you guys like to? What's the biggest discrepancy?
I mean, if I could like not go to the gym, that'd be
Stay at
great.
home. That's what we're talking about. A little stay at home
It would
workout.
be nice, but the thing is, I don't really have anything here though.
What if he had equipment?
Dude, you could take down the Christmas tree.
I could.
You could make some
We
room,
could leave it up
Yeah.
till next December.
and then the December after that.
Exactly. But he brings his own equipment.
Yeah, he has his
That'd be
own
great.
equipment. He brings his own equipment. He will give you a personal training for whatever your goal is, whether it's to be a full-time bodybuilder, whether it's just to get nice and in shape,
Or to be built like Shane.
or to be built like Shane.
Now, can he help with nutrition at all? Because that's kind of a big
He
thing,
can give you
too.
some nutritional advice, but he's not certified in nutrition.
And how can I get in touch with this fella?
You can email him at allthingsfitness15@gmail.com. You can call his cell phone number, 937-308-6324, or visit his website, allthingsfit.org, where you will find his class schedule for low, medium, and high intensities. Unfortunately, no videos. Although he does have videos on his Instagram of him doing his personal workouts.
And you could probably take your own videos if need be.
Do you know if he does let you take videos?
I don't know. I mean, he's not going to say, hey,
Yeah,
dude, no videos.
Wear GoPro.
He
dude.
might, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if you're working out and maybe you would have to ask him if he's okay with him. If you want to record a guy showing you how to work out, you'd probably have to get that guy's okay. But
I would
if
think so.
you were recording yourself doing his workout, that wouldn't be an issue.
I mean, like Shane says, it's implied consent.
Exactly.
Kind of goes across the board. Make your own videos for the website. Let's go to the film room here, boys. Starting off with the Ravens dominate Houston.
Handle business.
As expected, kind of, right?
Yeah, that was one that I was not even a little bit shocked about. Kind of expected, like you said. Defense is just too good, man.
And fully healthy, too.
It was. And then they were tied at halftime. I'm like, okay, maybe neither offense can get it going in this game. And then the Ravens came and scored like 4 straight.
100 yards passing and 100 yards rushing for Lamar Jackson.
And 2 tutties both ways,
Correct.
which is great for us and our little fantasy pick'em thing.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Didn't win, but,
Close. But
But again, no problem there for Houston. Great future ahead. On the road against the 1 seed. The top-notch defense. Still a great year. Niners. Green Bay, a lot closer than I thought it would be.
definitely closer than expected.
And could have gone the other way if not for Anders Carlson missing a
And
clutch
could have
kick.
went even the other way if a kick didn't get tipped.
Also factors in. Yeah.
But yes, Anders Carlson did cost them to not go into overtime.
Shane, the big thing that you saw from the Niners offense.
I saw a lot of Purdy missed throws. Not really missed throws, but just like bad passes. Christian McCaffrey had a decent game,
Automatic.
and that wasn't a shock to anyone. You can definitely tell that it hurts them not having Debo on the field because not as many options get open when you're playing against teams that have solid defenses.
Which they may or may not be going into next week. I don't think Detroit's defense is all that good. I think their pass rush is good. I don't think their secondary is that great.
It usually isn't, but they didn't look that bad against Tampa.
I don't know, dude. Mike Evans kind of put up 150 yards on them.
They do get burned by number 1 wideouts.
Yeah.
The past 5 weeks, they've let up like 150 each to the
So,
number 1 option on
Ayuk
each team.
should have a field day. Kittle
Yeah.
probably going to have a field day.
Yeah, because
McCaffrey
who do they
always has a field day.
who do they even have in the middle? Detroit.
That one guy.
He's pretty great, though.
I mean, he's okay.
That one fella. He's decent.
I think they actually have 2 guys in the middle.
That does check out.
Depends on the package, but usually 2 guys.
Detroit.
You know what I'm saying.
I have no idea who it is.
I'm saying-
either. That's why I'm saying that.
I'm saying who are the linebackers who are probably going to be in
I
coverage?
don't know.
No, and
That's-
again,
that's
Detroit's
why I'm saying that.
Okay.
linebackers are kind of the weak point. But
Yeah.
they did beat Tampa. And again, in a game that could have gone a lot differently,
Yeah,
Baker got to be re-signed, right?
You would think so.
Should be.
I don't understand why they didn't use their timeouts, though.
Apparently, they thought the scoreboard was wrong, and they thought they only had 2. So, why take 2 when it didn't matter? But as a coach, you kind of got to know better than that,
Yeah,
right?
You got to know how many times.
At least ask the ref.
Maybe the ref would just look up the scoreboard and be like, 2, bro. It says
Oh, the
right
ref
there.
should definitely know.
It says right there, dude, 2.
But yeah, could have had a chance to at least maybe block a kick, maybe a bad snap, at least get the ball back.
Something because Detroit snapped the ball.
Yeah.
Like,
Early.
you had time. I think if they would have called the timeout, they'd have time for at least one play, which, I mean,
They had like 13 seconds left.
Get 2 shots there, dude.
yeah.
Which,
One
again, I
to
mean,
get
we've
you
seen
close.
anything can happen.
I mean, we saw Baker like the drive before throw 2 40-yard bombs to Mike Evans back to back because their wideout one torches.
And that's what
C.J.
scares me about
Gardner-Johnson Jr. or whatever
Detroit
his name
is, game on the line, you need to stop. I don't know if they can get it.
Can't get it, but you know what you can do? Go for it on 4th, so you don't have to give them the ball back.
Classic Dan Campbell, which he did yet again on a 4th and goal from like the 1 yard line. Which, I mean, you got to go for that. That's a fair call.
Yeah,
First
that's a
half,
little different.
yeah,
Yeah, especially in the first half.
tie game. We're rolling. But again, great season for Tampa after not, really being where they should have been.
Now, I will say, if you're down 3 points, it's 4th and goal, the end of the 4th quarter.
Different question.
Maybe you take the points, but
But we're not Dan Campbell. So what do we know?
I would probably have a heart attack if I consumed that much caffeine. So I'm
Yeah, no
glad
kidding.
I'm not Dan Campbell.
And then, of course, the big time game we all expected, and we all mentioned these games can't keep being this good, right? Bills, Chiefs, they keep marketing it as Manning, Brady 2.0,
It is.
but I'm sold. It is.
It is.
Each matchup is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chiefs beat Superman. That's how I put it down.
And even though Josh Allen played great, yes, the last drive, questionable, passing on checkdowns. I don't like
I will say
the play calls.
the play calls are not great, but the one pass to Shakur should have been a touchdown.
Correct. Yeah, had
But
him.
Josh Allen just underthrew it a little bit.
Had him. Probably should have won that game, but Boogeyman. Mahomes' first game on the road in the playoffs, no problem there. Running game, killed the Bills, who again were unhealthy on defense, but I mean, it's postseason. What are you going to do?
I don't know. Now we have the title games: Chiefs versus Ravens, San Fran versus the Lions. What do you think, boys?
I think the Lions get it done this time.
God, I hope so, but I don't think so. So why do you think so?
I think so only because San Fran has been. I don't know if it's just they're not prepping right, but like the Packers game shouldn't have been as close as it was. A lot of the games that they've been playing lately shouldn't have been as close as they were. And it seems like Detroit has just been hot all season. And I think with a team that's probably so hungry for success, it's hard to go against them.
Yeah. Every other team in the title game
No,
can be hungry, dude.
I'm saying
It's a nice thought. Of course, we all want to
It's-
pull for the locker room and the vibes there.
I want to
but
pull. I'm pulling for Purdy. I'm
I'm
pulling
not.
for Purdy and Lamar because I think they are the 2 most disrespected quarterbacks in the league.
I'm not pulling for Purdy only because I know they're going to get there again. You don't know Detroit's going to get there
How do you
again.
know?
What do you mean, how do I know?
You just said, Lions are hot. San Fran's not been prepping correctly. Don't look so good.
You're making it sound like San Fran's not going to be there again.
Doesn't look like you're kind of hedging your
No,
bet.
they've been in the NFC Championship the last 2 years. Like, they'll
Well,
get there
I mean,
again.
Yes, that was the last time, though. What about this time?
What?
What about right now?
In his defense, they've been 4 of the last 5.
Like, they'll get there again. I'm not worried about it, but I don't know if Detroit gets there again just because.
Detroit major fall off after this year. Seriously,
What?
I mean,
Cam has been saying that.
They were in contention for the number 1 seed, and they're just going to be bad again after
What?
this year.
I'm not saying they're going to be bad, but I'm saying it's not a guarantee that they're going to be good.
I mean, but nothing's going to change in the offseason. If anything, they're just going to add players. They're not going to lose anybody.
I'm saying Detroit in my entire lifetime has not been good. I'm not used to seeing them be good.
So you don't believe in Dan Campbell, is what you're saying?
Not if he keeps making these stupid ass plays, no.
Such as,
Going for it on every single fourth, sometimes multiple times, even when the play gets called back.
fair point. Your key matchup
I'm rooting
in
for
that
Brock
game.
Purdy.
In that game,
Key matchup.
how
in that game,
can Detroit win?
you've got to let your front 4 do their thing because your secondary is not going to get the job done. So you really just have to pressure Purdy.
Good luck. Top O line, man.
Good
I
luck.
know.
Yeah.
But that is their only hope.
And I will say one thing we saw out of Purdy last week that he usually does do that he didn't is expand the pocket. Last week he did not, so I don't expect that to be another factor. I think he will be back to expanding the pocket. But yeah, Lamar and Purdy are my votes.
I like Lamar a lot. But then again, this entire season, I feel like we've been saying Kansas City's offense isn't that great.
It's not.
And then,
Still not.
I know, but then they somehow pull it off.
Yeah, but not because of their offense. Their defense gets a stop on the other team's final drive.
Right, but their offense gets the job done. It's serviceable, obviously.
Now, can the offense score on Baltimore's defense?
That I don't know.
The team
On
that
the road.
beat the most 500 teams, and I believe has the most point differential against 500 teams.
I don't know. It's hard.
On the road in Baltimore.
It's almost like Mahomes has the Brady effect for me, where I don't want to say that he's not going to win. It's hard to bet against Mahomes.
So you're going
I'm
Mahomes versus Goff Super Bowl.
I am.
I'm taking the opposite.
Yeah, I like the exact opposite. It's been the same way all year. The two best teams should be in the bowl, Niners and Ravens. I don't think, as good as the Chiefs' defense is, Lamar's playing such great ball right now. And I don't think they're going to let Pacheco run like they did against Buffalo. That run defense is so good.
Shockingly, Pacheco's been their Chiefs' saving grace.
Which is nice to have. You know, you don't have to have Mahomes throw for 400.
With how many big physical, even just the defensive backs in Baltimore are gigantic. They're built like linebackers, dude. I just don't think.
Just the scheme is so good, too.
It wouldn't shock me if the Ravens won by 50.
50 is a lot, but it honestly, on paper, it shouldn't be close.
It would not shock me if it was a substantial margin and the Ravens put their backups in the title game.
So, Shane, how do the Chiefs win?
It really just falls on the receivers. That's been
That's
the main.
not what you want.
That's been the main issue all year. Rashee Rice is looking good. Someone has to step up and be a number 2. Honestly, you've got Kelsey.
Well, maybe if you didn't make your receivers act as running backs to fumble the ball.
Could help.
Yeah. Another thing is just defense. You can't have your defense on the field the entire time. If Baltimore has you on 3 and outs, your defense gets tired, Lamar's going to eat you up.
There's only so much smelling salt in the locker room.
Baltimore should kill the clock, run the ball, take up time, keep the ball, and they're going to put points up there. I don't see how they can stop them.
Because even then, what do you do? Stop them and Justin Tucker kicks the 75-yard field goal?
Yeah.
Then you're just sitting there embarrassed because you thought you did good.
You have to create turnovers, a big play in the return game, something like that. Someone has to go. We have to play perfect ball.
Which Baltimore special teams also no slouch.
And they don't have the coaching advantage. You always want to say, Andy Reid is the guy, but, Harbaugh and Mike McDonald have a great game plan. They execute. They plan very well.
Big Todd, dude. Not their OC.
And Big Todd.
Big
Todd Monken.
Yeah, Big Todd.
And Lamar is not a guy like Josh Allen who's going to make those kind of late-game mistakes.
Calm and composed always.
Definitely see Ravens and Niners.
I think the Ravens by a substantial margin. I think the Niners win by more than we expect.
They should, because, again, Detroit's defense, I don't think is good enough to stop any of the weapons, even without Debo. That San Fran has.
Top 5 wide receiver Brandon Ayuk.
Correct.
Probably top 5. Would you say that rookie's name was? He's probably top 5.
Top 3, maybe.
Ronnie Bell.
Yeah.
Right? Ronnie
Bell.
Who's the other guy?
And same thing. They don't put Purdy in positions to make mistakes like that.
Correct.
So unless he plays totally off his game, again, it really shouldn't be close. And I hope we get the actual 2 best teams that we've known all year actually matching up in the Super Bowl. But Shane does think otherwise.
He wants to see the poop stain property franchise of the Lions in the Super Bowl.
We all
I think
hope
the reason
Detroit gets
why
there.
is because you look at them as the Browns of the NFC.
Yeah, exactly why.
Yeah. So you feel like you're rooting for the Browns.
The same naive hope.
That's why. I know that's why.
Yeah. Well,
And-
dude, when the playoffs started, I think me and Austin said Browns Lions
It'd be fun.
would have been.
Yeah, we were all cheering for that.
Yeah.
But
But we knew that
come on.
wasn't going to happen.
Come on.
Might, dude.
Well, it's
Why?
obviously not going to happen.
Well, not for the Browns, but
Well, I mean, realistically, it can still. If the Ravens and the Lions play, technically the Ravens wouldn't be there without the Browns because they are the Browns. So, in my opinion, the Browns have won more Super Bowls in my lifetime than the Cowboys have yours, Austin. How about
math
that?
checks out. Math checks out. Quick NCAA news. Buckeyes hire Bill O'Brien as the OC,
And
which
then get everyone out of the
unexpected.
transfer portal.
And yeah, transfer-wise, apparently spending over $13 million in NIL deals. They bring in...
C.J. Stroud donated to their NIL fund.
I'd love to see that.
Also,
Can he come back to school?
I
He's
don't
got a year of
think
eligibility
so.
left. Come on
I
now.
don't think so.
Come on now, CJ.
I think the playoffs in the NFL ban you from coming back to college.
We
Actually,
brought in 2 quarterbacks. One from Kansas State, Will Howard, and one from Alabama, Julian Sayin, who I think was a number 1 overall prospect.
yeah,
last
of this
year.
class. Yep.
Bring in 2 more Bama players, safety Caleb Downs, which I think is huge, and Seth
Home run.
McLaughlin, the center.
Man,
Plus Quinshon Judkins, running back from Ole Miss,
those are all home run threats.
paired with Henderson. I think they could be a great duo.
Home run
in the backfield.
threat.
Yeah.
2 of
Hit
them.
some
now.
dingers, hopefully.
2 home run threats. And Julian Super Saiyan, Julian Super Saiyan God 3,
Gus Johnson's already going crazy.
Julian Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan.
That will definitely be dropped in the first game when he throws a 65-yard bomb. Julian Super Saiyan with an absolute missile.
To his home run threat, Travion Henderson, who's in his 12th year of college because he's such a home run.
Hey, let's make it 13.
Did you guys see that one tight end that's in his 9th year of college
Yeah.
football now?
What a legend, dude.
Dude,
Just keep riding it out,
like,
man.
if you know you're not going pro, what a great life, you know? Got the COVID year, got your red shirt year, you know, you graduate,
injuries.
grad transfer, some injuries.
No, dude, it's
You
literally
get 10
just because
years of college ball.
like the first game of every season he gets injured, so they just give him another year of eligibility.
Honestly,
Kick-ass
keep it up,
life.
man.
Dude,
Keep it up.
it's nice.
Dude, I'd fake an injury every first game.
Oh,
Oh, that's my ACL. Oh,
Gone.
I guess I got to come back next year. What a
Dude,
shame.
I'm gonna go home and get an MRI.
This guy's 35 years old, still in the dorm.
Starting
As he
on the
should be.
football team
As he should be.
for 1 game.
NBA-wise, some breaking news live on air with the Bucks head coaching situation.
So they fired Adrian Griffin and then hired 76ers legend, Los Angeles Clippers legend.
Boston Celtics legend, Doc Rivers. Shane, your thoughts as a Sixers fan, allegedly.
Who lived through being a Sixers fan, allegedly, the Doc Rivers era in Philadelphia, allegedly.
I don't know what they think he's going to do. I mean-
Defensive hound, dude.
First of all, are you shocked they fired their previous head coach?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
I think the success they had on the record-wise is not telling the full truth.
With the talent on the court, they
Because
should be that
they
good.
have
They
a
should be better.
terrible defense.
Yeah.
So I think they fired him for that reason. Defense was terrible. There's no defensive coordinator to blame. So you're the head coach. You suck. You couldn't defend a toddler playing on a little Tykes hoop. So
And we knew losing Drew and bringing Dame in would definitely hurt defense, but
This much.
to this degree,
I didn't think so.
so is Doc that answer?
No.
defensive mastermind.
Okay, 2 condescending takes here.
Yep.
Let's go to Shane first. I cannot wait for
Nothing's-
Cam's rebuttal.
Literally nothing's changed in Philly. Our defense was not ever amazing.
So much worse.
Huh?
You heard me. So much worse.
We also lost most of our defensive players.
Well, and your defensive-minded head coach.
Well, our defensive-minded head coach also had no offensive mind whatsoever. So
Don't need that.
you do though. To
Defense
score.
wins championships.
Not the full truth.
Yeah, it is.
Not at all.
If you get a block and you're on a fast break, who gets the open layup?
Who was playing
The
Warriors?
defense.
Hey, dude, that 3-peat with the Warriors, did they rely on defense?
help?
Yeah, defense wins championships.
No.
Yep.
No.
Small ball defense specifically, actually. Changed the game.
But
Having Draymond Green, one of the best defenders of all time.
that
on
was
your
their
team.
only player on their team that was good at defense.
But he can boost the team to having a great defense. Look it up. I bet you they were top 5 in defense.
I
in
guarantee
all
they
of
weren't.
those championships.
But no, I don't really. They're not going to get worse, right?
I'm just kidding, by the way. Doc
But-
Rivers is dog shit.
Doc
Yeah,
Rivers
not a good move.
fucking sucks.
Not a good move.
They're
right?
not going to get worse.
That's a terrible move.
They're not going to get worse.
I think they get worse.
You think so?
I do.
With that team, dude, a blind guy could fucking coach them.
No, I don't.
Well,
think
then why
so.
couldn't Adrian Griffin?
Yeah,
I'm talking about, like,
maybe
When it comes to a record,
Maybe
Like-
Adrian Griffin was losing the locker room and guys were losing motivation.
It seems like it had to have been a move that was like player oriented.
And maybe Doc can get the guys fired up.
No.
Maybe that's all he'll be like Tyronn Lue in Cleveland. Where he's just like, yeah, all right, we're going to listen to Giannis and we're going to
Dude.
get you boys fired up.
If
It's
you
Giannis' locker room.
if you were a player and you hear, "Oh my God, guys, Doc Rivers is coming to coach us," is that firing you up?
NFL NBA Hall of Fame coach Doc Rivers.
Dude, Doc Rivers sucks.
How many championships does he have?
What's his playoff record?
I think he's got 2 championships, 3 appearances in the conference championships,
He is at 500 in the playoffs.
and he's 500 in the playoffs.
And
Not a loser.
By no means is he a loser. He's been coaching for like 30 years. He knows a thing or two about basketball, Shane. Bet you didn't know that the NBA logo is actually Doc Rivers.
That is the true fact, actually.
Doc Rivers sucks, dude. I guess I understand the
Mr.
pickup,
NBA, baby.
because if you think about it, there's not a lot of good head coaches that are available right now. So I guess maybe there's no way he's signed to a long-term deal.
I mean, like you said, though, a
10 years.
blind guy could coach his team.
I
right?
know, with the talent that they have. The move does make sense because their defense
It's a
has
win now
been
move,
abysmal.
apparently.
But on
See if,
paper, the record's not that bad. But, I mean, with the talent, if you were losing games, there's a serious problem there. I don't think the team is going to get worse.
They shouldn't get worse.
With that roster, you have to be trying to do bad. Actually attempting to lose basketball games. You are throwing games to have a bad record with that Bucks team. Doc Rivers is not that bad. He's just not good.
Oh. The earlier report of Doc Rivers being the coach is not true. There is no official agreement.
God damn it.
This one was from Bleacher Report, though, not some fake Adrian Wojnarowski.
Wait, did a fake Woj get you?
The
No,
fake
real-
Woj gets me every time.
I think real Woj.
But, yeah, it says there is no agreement in place between the Bucks and any potential job candidate. The earlier report of Doc Rivers is not true.
All right, well, when you guys hear this on Thursday morning, Doc Rivers may or may not be the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
He probably will be.
I feel like he definitely is. You know, if CNN Sports reports that Doc Rivers has accepted the spot,
Maybe they
Should
just
be credible.
don't have a contract out yet. Maybe they just didn't draw it up. Maybe they're like, we're going to interview you. He's like, don't have to. I'll take it.
either way, it was quick. I mean, Griffin got fired today,
Yeah.
This morning.
like 6 hours ago. So let's say they had Doc already on the line.
They probably had Adrian call Doc.
Hey, man, do you want my job?
Hey, they're kicking me out, man.
Want to fill in for me?
Say, hey, man, they just told me to call and see if you were interested in coaching at all. I think it's going to be an assistant position. I'm not sure, but they just wanted to get the name out there. And then he called the owner back and he's like, yeah, dude, he said he's down. And then they're like, all right, you're fired.
And Doc says, all right, I'll take the job. Yeah, I'll take it. I want to coach Giannis and Dame.
I
Great
feel like
morale
he
guy.
can't say Giannis's name right.
Giannis
G-
Antetokounmpo.
Giannis Acompo.
John Antetokounmpo. I do want to cover.
We'll roll with it, though. Doc Rivers is the new head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
I think that's fair. It wouldn't have broke like that if it wasn't at least heavily supported.
We'll
right?
see. But, I mean, they need a new head coach pretty quick.
Let's see, promote Giannis as player coach.
Not a bad move.
Dude, they could have
Wouldn't hate it.
Thanasis.
Okay.
Big T, dude?
Dude, Thanasis coach.
The Thanasis Meister?
Is Big T the biggest nepotism job in
Yes.
all of history?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like if he was not Giannis' brother, he wouldn't be in the. He wouldn't be in the
no.
G League.
He was on the team before Giannis.
That can't be right.
There's
Yes, he
no
was.
way.
He was drafted
That
first.
cannot be right.
Thanasis was the first Antetokounmpo in the NBA.
What?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Wow, I did not know that.
Wait, is Alex in the league right now?
No.
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 Just wait, dude. He'll be a Milwaukee Buck before you know it.
I think he's actually supposed to be good, but Kostas was supposed to be good too.
That's the one I was thinking of was Kostas. Is he
Yeah,
is he a Buck?
No,
I want to say he's like G League.
he's G League.
Yeah.
I watched him play in UD, and I thought he was really good. I don't know why he's not an NBA player. He was an NBA level talent for sure.
Better than Thanasis. either way.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely better shooter than Giannis. He had the 3-ball down pretty well.
Can he teach that to Giannis, maybe?
Giannis is
Can
getting
he
better.
teach that to John at Dumbo?
Well,
John,
guys, we want to get the ball to John right here. We're going to draw it up for John.
yeah,
James,
John,
coach.
John Adumbo actually, his 3-point percentage gets better every year somehow.
It's improved somehow, yeah.
But no, I think Alex is supposed to be just complete baller.
Bring him in. Why not?
So make him head coach, maybe.
Now, there's some
He's like-
comments this week from KD about not being in the GOAT conversation and why he thinks he should be.
Yeah, didn't he say because I've done everything?
He pretty much said, you guys only hold it against me that I went to Golden State. Otherwise, I would be in the GOAT conversation.
No, he wouldn't.
no, he would not.
Right?
Because Golden State is his only championships, and I don't even think he's been to the playoffs since? Not even to a finals? Has he even been to the playoffs? The Nets were in the playoffs.
The Nets went to the
It's
playoffs.
an 8 seed, though, right?
Yeah, they snuck in there.
Yeah.
But definitely not in the GOAT. I mean,
Maybe-
it's a very, very high bar.
He's on the list of most talented players
Look,
of all time.
GOAT scorer, sure.
Yeah.
But when you think GOAT, I don't think KD's coming to your mind, right?
Maybe not even top 10.
Nah, maybe not even top 30.
He's in the top 30. Come on, you did this with
Okay, top 20.
Eli.
Top 20.
I don't know. I'd have to really sit down and think about my top 10. He might sneak in there.
Not in the top 10. There's no way. But either way, GOAT you're talking top 2 or 3.
Correct.
And I don't see any way, even if he wins 6 rings from here on out,
He's not even best small forward of all time.
not even top 3, right?
You could probably put him in the top 3.
Is he really even a small forward? I guess positions don't really matter that much, designations, but I just don't. I don't see it.
I don't either. I mean, I think he's definitely speaking out of turn.
And do you think we hold that going to Golden State against him? Does that factor in?
No. Not in this conversation, at least. I think we do hold it against him.
If your only championships come from a team that was winning championships before you got there and you were not a difference maker, then that to me is an irrelevant.
That has to matter.
For
right?
your resume.
Like, he didn't go to Toronto like Kawhi did and won a title.
Correct.
He joined Steph, Clay, and Draymond.
And even when he went to New York, it was to join Kyrie and James Harden. And then Ben Simmons.
And then be an 8 seed and get bounced in the first round.
Yeah. So, and then you join Devin Booker and those guys.
Not like the Suns were bad before KD got there.
Yeah, you join Devin Booker and Chris Paul.
And they're not even that great right now.
He's got a thing for, there was a reason why Golden State got rid of him so quick. They weren't apt to re-signing.
Let's call Draymond real quick, Shane.
Let's figure out how KD was in the locker room. Because to me, it sounds like it wasn't great.
Shane, I want to hear your thoughts on Embiid's 70-point game
It's not hard to do when you put up 30 free throws.
every game.
Yeah. I mean, it's impressive, I guess, because even without free throws, you're putting up 50.
50's the new 30, bud.
Yeah.
You know, you're not wrong.
70's the new 30 when you really think about it.
I mean, look at Martha Stewart. 85 is the new 30.
But, no, I think, honestly,
No,
his
realistically,
performance-
it is a really impressive game. He only took 2 threes. He takes like 20 free throws a game anyways. That's no different. But, yeah, I think it was pretty good. Pretty solid. Although I will say, a center taking 50 shots is absurd and should not ever happen again. It's cool that he got there. It really is. But a center to take 50 shots that's unreal.
Cat did damn near the same thing last
I
night.
know.
And he got
benched.
ripped.
And they lost.
The fact that he got benched is actually nuts. Because I don't care how you're doing it. If you have 60 points, you feed the hot hand.
Yeah, that is how basketball is played these days.
Like, and then for him to publicly bash the whole team for how they were playing, like, dude.
The coach, not Cat.
Yeah. For the coach to come out and say, we played basketball in a horrible, disrespectful, immature way tonight. Like, that's.
I'm surprised that wasn't the firing I got this morning.
Yeah.
losing to Charlotte, who has, 10 wins?
Because you benched Karl Anthony Towns
yeah.
on a 63-point game and counting.
Because
what led to that benching?
he was. I want to see he took 40 shots, something close to it.
So you took too many shots, I'm going to bench you?
Well, it's just the fact that it was so obvious that all the players were just force feeding Cat.
Was he making them?
I think he shot
He scored 60, right?
50 or 60%. It's
Sounds
like
like
I would have too. I don't think he did anything wrong.
I don't think anybody was pissed off feeding Cat.
No.
Like, well, everybody's going to make fun of me if I don't pass the ball, so I better just get rid of it now.
Like,
Coach, pull him out. I want to shoot some.
I think Cat put up like 20-something each quarter and then 4 in the fourth before he got pulled.
Terrible coaching. Probably could have won the game.
Should have won the game.
You would think.
What a dumb decision. That guy should be fired.
Yeah, Cat
Should be.
62, 8, and 2 on 21 of 35 shooting.
Great.
10 of 15 from 3.
Phenomenal.
That's outrageous. That's Steph Curry level.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
And you pull that guy? They outscored 36 to 18 in the fourth to Charlotte. And yet, the Bucks head coach gets
And how
fired.
much did Charlotte win by?
3 points.
Yeah.
Let's make it 11 for 16 from Cat. And maybe you go to OT or win that game.
Yeah. Or just maybe like you don't get outscored by 30 points in the fourth quarter. That's insane. What a dumb decision. And we're reading about Adrian Griffin not being fired.
Yeah, still
Or
has
being
his job.
fired. Who is that head coach?
For the Bucks?
Timberwolves.
It's not Tom Thibodeau, right?
No, I don't think it's Tibbs anymore. Surely it's not.
No, it can't be.
I was going to say, that was like 20 years ago.
Well, not that far. Current Wolves head coach is a fellow named, nope, that's the Wolverhampton Wolves. Chris Finch.
Fired.
Chris Finch should not be employed.
We'll go on public record saying Sports and Stogies is against Chris Finch being employed by the Minnesota Timberwolves
We have a staunch
from this point forward.
anti-Chris Finch stance. How about a trade here? Kind of unexpected. Terry Rozier to the Heat for a 2027 first and Kyle Lowry.
I mean, Terry's been playing really good lately, but
I feel like he's a very streaky guy.
he is.
though.
It seems like every year we're like, Terry Rozier's on a streak of putting up 25 points a game, and then we never talk about him.
And we'll see how he adapts, but they need a point guard, not a scorer.
If my mentality is if Eric Spoelstra wants you, then
You should be at some level of talent.
Clearly, yeah. I mean, if Spo brings you in, he believes in you and believes that you can adapt to his system.
How old is Scary Terry these days?
Scary
Probably
Terry is
28,
currently
32.
29 years old.
I was close.
Man.
From Mafia capital of the world, Youngstown,
Youngstown?
Ohio.
Nice.
They're averaging 23, 4, and 6 this year.
6 assists is good.
Again, you'd like to think of that system probably takes a step back from scoring and
Should.
facilitates a little bit more, but I don't think he's a great playmaker.
I think he'll average 20 and 8. I think he'll jump up to 8 assists. But
Losing-
it depends on what their scheming is with him. They might he's a good shooter, 3 shooter. So maybe you have, I guess you just have a bunch of good 3 shooters now.
Let Jimmy handle the rock more.
Jimmy facilitate. It's not a bad move.
No, I mean, of course. Losing Kyle Lowry
Doesn't hurt.
after he got benched.
Kind of turnover machine.
Yeah, he was due to go
He can get you 15 assists a game, but he'll have 25 turnovers.
and shoot 2 of 12.
He does like to shoot for no reason.
He shouldn't. And then let's see here. I guess let's recap Team of the Week from last week. I had the Knicks, who beat the Rockets, Wizards, and Raptors, and played the Nets tonight. And they
should be over.
They won. So 4-0 week for the Knicks.
Nice.
Love to see it.
I had the Timberwolves, who went 2-2.
Should have been 3-1.
They beat the Pistons and the Grizzlies, lost to the Hornets and the Thunder. I had predicted 3-1. Unfortunately, Karl Anthony Towns got pulled in a game. They were up 30. Maybe that's why. Maybe they were up 30. They're like, there's no way we're going to lose this.
Let's not put him back in at any point.
Like, I just can't imagine. Like, imagine if Kobe got pulled when he was getting ready to score 80. They were like,
Kobe wouldn't come off the floor.
You're at 65. I think we just get you out of there. This is really disrespectful. This is immature.
And honestly, like, why did Cat come off the floor?
I wouldn't have.
Like, can't you say, Coach, nah, man, I'm good. I'm staying out here. Hey, Nas Reed, go back on the bench, dude.
Oh, no, you don't put Nas Reed on the bench, dude.
I love Nas Reed, but I got 60 going here, man.
You don't put Nas Reed on the bench, dude.
I ain't sitting down.
Nas Reed and Cat on the floor at the same time.
Would have won.
Unstoppable.
That's an unstoppable force.
In fact, yeah, Coach, pull Rudy. I'm playing out here. Rudy's got 9 points. I got 60.
Yeah,
Let's go.
But Rudy's got 35 rebounds, Cat.
And 15 blocks.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, nobody pulled Jordan when he was scoring 60. Nobody pulls LeBron when he's on a scoring streak. Name another player who's been pulled when they were scoring insane amounts.
Yeah, it's not like he fouled out.
And efficiently scoring.
Yeah, mind-boggling.
Yeah, like, I think the only time that's happened is, like, Giannis. I think he willingly.
Yeah, when Giannis chooses, hey, Coach, take me out here. I need a break.
But, like, nobody, I mean, when Donovan Mitchell put up 70 last year, when Devin Booker scored 60 as the youngest 60 bomb ever.
When Embiid just dropped 70.
When Embiid dropped 70, when when Carmelo Anthony drops, 64 on 75 shots. Nobody pulled him. Like, that's unreal. And then to say it's because we were whooping their ass, that's disrespectful now?
In front of your home crowd.
And that's another thing I'm tired of. I'm getting tired of all these people, like, bashing people when it's the time's dwindling down and they go down and do a wide open 360 between the legs dunk. No. Bring back that aggressive basketball. Quit being so damn soft.
Look, I'm beating you by 40. Guess what? Let's make it 42.
Yeah, now I'm beating you by 42. Congratulations. Get better.
Suck it.
Yeah. You don't want me to win by 42? Score.
Oh, I'll put my third string guys in because I feel bad.
Yeah. Now, if it's in the playoffs, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
They do that intentionally to disrespect you. Isn't that right, Austin?
But middle of January? Come on.
In basketball?
What are you doing here? You know. It's not Green Bay you're playing against.
No, it's not.
Shane, your old team of the week?
I picked the Magic, but
How'd that go?
I thought Franz Wagner would be back, and he
Franz Wagner.
Franz Wagner.
Franz Wagner.
Franz Wagner.
Franz Wagner.
Jesus. Why'd you
That was
try
a
to
high
hit
C
that,
right there, dude.
That was good.
I got
But,
pipes. I got pipes for days, dude.
He just came back today.
Today.
Nice
Did
scouting,
win?
Shane.
They
Great job.
won one.
They
I
won
won
today.
one for 2.
They won today?
No, they didn't play today, but he got pulled off the IR today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He got pulled off the court like Cat did.
No, they
How about
win.
your new team of the week?
They got kind of a tough schedule, but it's winnable. I'm going with the Mavs.
Okay.
They've got the Suns, the Hawks, and the Kings.
Yeah. I could see that could be sneaky.
Strong
difficult.
schedule. Yeah.
I think they beat the Hawks pretty easy. I think they'll beat the Suns. It's really the Kings that I'm kind of worried about.
Really?
Yeah.
Also, I will say I've heard no more rumors of DeJounte Murray going to the Lakers.
Not a lot.
No, nothing.
So I think just as typical as every Lakers report is, it's just not true.
I've heard a lot about him going back to
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
They need it.
They do.
They definitely. I personally think he shouldn't have left in the first place.
Yeah.
But I think, they need him back for sure.
I went with the Los Angeles Clippers. Again, tough schedule. All on the road. At the Lakers, at the Raptors, at the Celtics, at the Cleveland Cavaliers, and at the Wizards.
Well, they definitely beat the Wizards.
Well, you would think, unless they pull Kawhi out when he puts up 55.
I mean, the Cavs owner said it back in 2011. You want to make 20 of the 32 teams the Wizards?
You don't want to
What do you think the
that.
Wizards owner said?
Yeah, he just quietly was like,
No, he was probably like, dude, fuck you guys. Send him to LA.
he just took the Wizard patch off his jacket. He was like, I don't own the
It was
Wizards.
every other owner voted no, had voted to veto, but there was one guy who voted not to, and it was the Wizards.
The lone
The
holdout.
Wizards owner.
Guys, I don't feel like I don't want to be disrespected no more.
Probably wouldn't be that bad.
So let's bring in Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma. I'm hearing talks of Kuzma to Dallas, which
I saw that heating up. I ignored it.
yeah, I tried to.
I just completely disregarded that.
I can't imagine anybody worse. I thought Reggie Bullock was the worst guy for Luka to pass to. I can't imagine Luka ever passes to Kyle Kuzma.
The problem is I don't think Kyle Kuzma would ever pass the ball if somebody accidentally passed it to him.
Correct. Yeah. 3 seconds left. Kuzma has the ball. Luka's wide open. Kuzma shoots from half court.
Full court.
Without question. Yeah. That'd be a bad fit for that team in that locker room.
Yeah.
Your team of the week, Cam.
Going Miami. They play the Grizzlies, the Celtics, the Knicks, the Suns, and the Kings. It's a pretty tough schedule. Well, I guess the Grizzlies not really tough anymore, but
Unless you're Golden State and they're not playing their starters.
yeah, that's true.
So yeah,
6 Grizzlies players down, and they'll still beat Golden State by 50 points.
3 tough schedules all around.
Thinking a win against the Grizzlies, Knicks, Suns. I could see them dropping to the Celtics and Kings. So 3-2.
Yeah,
my
Clips
prediction.
should be the Lakers, should be the Raptors. Boston, coin toss. Probably should beat Cleveland and should definitely beat Washington. So I'm going to say 4-1 as a tentative prediction. Now, UFC-wise,
It's pretty much only one fight to talk about.
I guess you got to mention Neil Magny.
We can mention Neil Magny.
KO from
after
getting his ass beat.
Yeah, he was getting destroyed
For 2.5 rounds.
and then just ground and pound. Old Mike Mallet,
Best
Couldn't get it
gatekeeper
done.
of all time.
probably.
And again, I feel like we mentioned it the other day. Neil Magny and Jeff Neal fight on every single card.
Every single card. I don't even know if they train.
I don't know if they're real. They might be the same guy.
They very well could be.
But
But
Shane,
fun fact: the UFC scheduled 7 Canadians on that card, and every single Canadian lost.
it's tough to go 0-7 in front of your home crowd.
Yeah, usually it's not like that, and you can kind of tell there was pretty much no energy until Duplessis and
Sean,
Although is it Duplessis or is it Duplessis?
I think
keep
Bruce
hearing
says it
Duplessis.
wrong. I think it's Duplessis.
Well, all the announcers, everyone says Duplessis, even Dana.
I feel like it's Duplessis, but I don't speak South African, so I don't know.
Well, that's a clearly European name.
Oh, he's from South Africa, though, so yeah, a little French influence. Either way, Shane, how are you holding up?
You all right, dude?
Dude, I don't think he won.
I don't think Sean won either. I agree.
No. I don't think Dreykus won.
Okay.
Also, another thing, is his name Dreykus or Drickus?
I think it's Drakus.
I keep hearing Dreykus too.
Dude,
I think it's Drakus.
it's not Dreykus.
I hear Drakus.
I'm telling you, dude, they say Drickus Duplessis.
I think it's Drakus Duplessis. That's my official pronunciation. DDP is much easier.
It is.
It is.
But
Diamond Dallas Page, as some would say.
I think Sean clearly won 1. He won 2, in my opinion. He dropped 3 and 4, and then he won 5.
So consensus comes down to round 2.
Pretty much, that's
Because,
the swing
again,
round.
Sean, I think, clearly won 1 and 5.
Yeah.
DDP clearly won 3 and 4. I thought watching it live, DDP won 2. There's been some contention on that.
I don't think he did.
And you look at the clear numbers, Sean wins on paper. But by round, I had a DDP. I think they got it right. I don't think it should have been split
I don't
even.
think it was I think a split decision's right. I think the fight was very close.
But when was
I
the-
wouldn't say it's a robbery.
No, I wouldn't be upset either way.
I just.
But when your champion is gushing blood for the entire fight,
But that was
that's damage.
that was one cut, and Dreykus couldn't see.
Well,
He won, though.
that's what jabs are meant to do.
Yeah, but I don't think Dreykus won. I really don't. And the takedowns that he got didn't result in anything. They were just
Still
garbage.
points.
Now that I do agree with.
I agree too, but
He
points are
shouldn't.
points.
He shouldn't have gotten that many points for takedowns that led to nothing.
Points are points.
I think that's stupid.
But no, watch those rounds all together. Watch 2, 3, 4, and tell me that Sean won 2.
I think he did.
Look, are you wrong? Very close. But for
it
me
could
at
go
least,
either way. I don't think it's worth being upset about
I'm not upset.
because I don't think there's a true argument to say that Sean got robbed, and I don't think there would be a true argument to say that Drickus got robbed.
It was a close fight. It was a great fight.
Dricus Duplessis, that is.
But I don't think that he won. And when was the last time that you saw someone's belt get taken in a split decision?
Well, look, if he was Silva and he defended 9 times in a row,
It's also his first
it's one
title
thing.
defense.
But yeah,
It is, but now it leads to...
But you're not talking about a dominant champion either.
You're talking about
When's
someone...
the last time you saw a dominant champion get his belt taken away in a split?
Never.
But-
Why? Because that person had already dominated 9 other guys before that split decision fight.
But I feel like Sean's proven himself. He just beat down Adesanya.
that's one
In a
fight, though.
decision fight.
But it was a clear decision fight.
Okay, but it's still a decision fight.
But it's
it wasn't a complete domination. It wasn't a knockout. It was
a complete domination.
It was a decision fight.
It was a complete domination, though.
That's
It was a
That's
complete
pushing it.
point fight.
and that's my problem. Sean should have and could have won that fight.
He could have if he
But
would have
he-
stayed on the gas.
He pumped the brakes,
but he lost Sean lost that fight.
dude. He took rounds 2, 3, and 4.
You can say
totally
Dricus
off.
didn't win, but Sean lost that fight.
And I think it's a great point. That's the main story here. Is Sean lost?
Is because Sean let Dricus determine the pace of the fight the entire fight except rounds 1 and 5.
It's so
He did.
weird seeing Sean not push the pressure,
It
which
was
I think is a
weird.
great game plan.
When you're watching your champion be on his heels the entire fight,
and just throw jabs
he will lose.
and stop throwing teep kicks.
Especially if it's his first title defense.
I just don't
He
understand
fought
why
like he was scared.
I know he did, and that
You
pissed
know
me
what?
off.
He always does. Look at the Cannonier fight. He said post-fight, you know what? If I'd have kept the pressure up, if I'd have kept pressuring, I would have won.
And I think that when they rematch, it's going to be completely different. It's going to look exactly
Why?
like that Izzy fight.
Why?
Because Sean's not going to pump the brakes this time.
Why do you think that? What has he done in the past to prove that he's going to change things up?
Why would he pump the brakes? It doesn't.
Because
make-
it's Sean Strickland.
Are you? Why would? If
Is
you
DDP
know
going to
that's-
just let him? DDP is going to pressure, just like he did the first fight.
No, but Sean just needs to bring the pressure like he did in 1 and 5. He showed that he's obviously capable of doing it, and when he does it, he wins those rounds by a landslide. And another thing, I don't know what they're going to do with a rematch, because Dricus and Izzy were the original fight.
Dricus and Izzy will fight next.
It
You think
should
that-
be, I think, because I don't think you get an immediate rematch as a non-defending champion.
You don't. You
I think-
didn't defend your title at all.
Chimaev v. Strickland and Izzy versus DDP.
I don't even like the. I think Chimaev should.
Chimaev's a
be,
bum. He shouldn't fight
I
anybody.
think he should be out of the UFC
I'm right there with you, pal.
because all he does is call out everyone and never fights.
Correct. Yeah.
So
See, I just don't understand. So Sean lost, so he doesn't get another title shot. Is
he
that-
will.
Eventually, if he wins the next fight, but an immediate rematch, I hate those.
Not for this.
I'd like to see it.
I think if anything, Izzy should have gotten an immediate rematch.
I think he should have.
As, a 8-time defending champ?
Yes.
I think he should have. And I agree with you on that.
But
I think
now they will get the real fight.
Which we all wanted anyway.
Yes.
it's going to be a great fight, but I just don't like that Sean might not get a rematch for a title that I don't think that he really lost. He didn't. I don't think that he really
Sean
lost
lost
that
that fight.
fight. But Dricus didn't win that fight.
correct.
I don't think that.
And even that is kind of harsh. Because, again, look at his game plan and execution.
He did exactly what his game plan was. He followed it to a T.
I don't-
Out pressure Sean Strickland. And what did Sean do? Defaulted to on his heels.
Back foot the
It
entire
was the
time.
same reason Alex Pereira knocked him out and the same reason Cannonier beat him.
Correct.
When Sean gets pressured, he doesn't know how to react. He can't counterpunch. So he just backs up and hits you with jabs all fight.
Which is why he was so good against Izzy, because Izzy's a backup counter puncher. It was a great style to go against Izzy.
Correct.
Against DDP, who's maintaining the pressure the entire time, mixing things up to a wild degree, almost too much.
One thing that I'm getting sick of with Sean is that everyone keeps talking about his ground game. And then in instances where it actually would be beneficial, you're losing takedowns. You recognize that you're losing takedowns. You need to implement something.
Honestly, who's talking about Sean's ground game?
His ground game's clearly not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not a strong suit. He's not like, oh, I can't defend the punch, I'm going to take this guy down. That's not him.
Right, but you would think that after 6 takedowns, you'd maybe consider it as you're going into the 5th
Do I
round.
think he could take down Dricus? Yes.
If he shot, sure.
I think he can get takedowns. I think he can hold guys on the ground. I just think he chooses not to.
And what's so weird is, me and Cam were talking and watching the fight, I've never seen somebody get taken down so easily and then get back up
So
easily. Yeah.
It was bizarre.
That's why I was saying that I don't think that those takedowns should have gotten him. I mean, I
And I
understand
agree.
points,
I agree.
but I don't think that that's what should have decided the fight, and I think it did. When it comes down to a decision like that, you get a lot of points for 6
I will say,
takedowns.
if DDP did not get that bloody strike on Sean
Sean would have won.
Sean probably wins.
Yeah.
Agreed.
just based on optics.
Which I hate because you look at the post-fight damage. Sean just has stitches on his eye, no bruising, nothing else, and Dreykus looks like he can't see.
But again, watch the whole thing front to back, which I want to do as well. I still think DDP 1, 2, 3, and 4. And damage or not, that's 3-2.
I don't think he won 2.
Well, that's why it's a split decision.
Yeah. I want to rewatch the fight because maybe I was just fanboying over Sean at fucking 3 in the morning
3 in the morning.
or 2 in the morning whenever the fight was
Like
on.
midnight, 12:30.
It felt late.
It's about 12:30.
I don't know. But I want to rewatch the fight, see if it is biased because I haven't yet. But when I watched, I didn't think that Sean got beat.
Again, watching it live, I mute commentary because I do think that influences the way you watch a fight. But I think it was pretty clear. Again, Sean 1 and 5, no questions there, and DDP 2, 3, and 4.
I don't think 2 is super clear.
I cannot wait to rewatch it with you. In fact,
Yeah, that's what you guys should do. Rewatch it together.
I'm down for that.
Then you come in with your American flag, you come in with your South African flag, and we can pretend there's no bias.
Do you own one of those?
I don't, but I can get one.
Okay.
And then can we mention how bad Dominic Cruz is on the mic?
Yeah, it's rough.
Like, he's super knowledgeable, but absolutely no...
Doesn't always translate.
Yeah, no chemistry, no energy whatsoever. Plus, with DC, you usually expect Rogan. They've got their thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's great, but it's energetic. But to give DC with Dominic Cruz...
Did you guys see DC staring at Dreykus when he was making out with his crew?
Okay,
That was making out.
Making that's a
tough.
strong term.
All right, Sean Strickland.
Come on, dude. Does this affect your fandom of Sean whatsoever?
No, I still like Sean.
Okay, I mean, 2 months ago, you loved Sean. He was the best person
I
on the
do.
planet.
It's just I'm pissed that he
Lost
let
the
him
fight.
he let him get into his head and then lost. Because
So you admit Sean lost.
I mean, he doesn't have the fucking belt anymore, does he?
That's correct. In your mind, Sean Strickland no longer a champion.
He's
Oh, in your mind, he's the champion.
he's objectively not the champion.
That is correct, sir.
I'm not going to walk
It
around.
is not subjective at all.
No.
So we all agree here. Sean's probably a bum. Should never fight for a title again.
Gatekeeper.
Even that. I think he's a pretty easy gate to pass up.
Supply pressure.
If ever that easy.
And talk about how his dad hit him.
Dude, that is another thing. I think a way more. Whenever you're going to fight Sean Strickland, you're going to make fun of his dad for beating him up.
You don't have to.
But you saw how easy it got in his head.
It did, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Dreykus, it's not even like Dreykus really said it that much.
What's weird, too, is even during the fight, pre-fight, post-fight, they were all, like,
Super
really
civil.
respectful.
Yeah.
Which you don't usually see from Sean.
So I think, yeah, maybe some of the pre-fight stuff was all just,
Definitely.
to sell. Because they were
Yeah.
the only fight on that card, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You had to promote some stuff, but... Yeah, drastic change from the press conference to the actual fight.
Yeah, that was
All this
surprising.
build up for Drickus versus Izzy on 300 to main event it.
Oh, not that soon for Dreykus. No way.
He said he's down.
I'm sure he did, but fighters are dumb.
Say he's down for 300 versus Izzy.
Be quick. And then, of course, probably the best fight of the night, we got to talk about Raquel Pennington and
What could have been.
Myra Bueno Silva.
Dude, Raquel Pennington, the only champion with 0 fight IQ.
Zero's putting it nicely. Negative fight IQ.
Because her coaches were screaming at her to get the finish, and she would just go into a clinch. I've never seen somebody almost get knocked out so many times.
And not just one time. She could have ended that fight 15 times.
From round 2 on,
Yeah.
there was probably 15 potential knockout punches,
And never really in danger.
and it was just straight into the clinch.
What is she scared of?
No idea.
And look,
Especially when Bueno Silva was much better on the ground. Why are you clinching?
it sucks to say, but without Amanda, this division needs to end.
We're spoiled. We got spoiled
have
by
been. Yeah.
Amanda Nunes.
And look,
And-
is Pena the next savior? No.
Well,
She's not that good anyway.
I mean, let's look at like rising stars. Is there anything?
In this division, no.
Like it's the other women's division that's super,
Incredible.
yeah, super talented.
Again, I think as a huge proponent of women's MMA, I love the sport, but this division is just trash.
Yeah, I mean,
That was a title fight.
And don't get me wrong, it was an entertaining fight, but it was an entertaining for casuals. But for people who understand, like, you knock her out right now.
You
Go, go,
had
go,
her.
go, go.
Yeah.
Go, 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 go.
15 times.
And then you clinch. And you're like, okay.
God, I said, what are you doing?
Maybe she got a little tired that time. Then the fifth time rolls around and you're like, maybe you just don't know what you're doing.
This chick's gone.
Yeah.
She's one shot away from being put down.
She was standing up asleep.
Correct. Multiple times.
Staring at her corner every time she clinched, like,
What's this chick doing?
can we throw in?
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
And look, I'm not a coach, right? I'm not a fighter.
But I know that
It doesn't take...
Raquel's coaches were screaming at her to stop clinching
Yeah.
and get the finish.
Does she not speak the same language as her coach? Or I mean, what's going on here?
I would hope so that she does.
You would think.
But if she doesn't, that's a good reason why she didn't get the finish. Maybe she thought they said clinch.
So I guess you get her against Pena next, which again, I'm not fighting to see.
Should be the same result.
Pena should win. She's the best in that division, which is not saying a whole lot.
I don't know. Raquel looked good. She just, that's the thing. She just lost, like, that. It's almost like that curiosity to finish her was not there. Like, she didn't see that opportunity when it arose. Because she didn't fight bad. She fought great.
No,
She's
she had a great performance.
Amazing
overall.
striker.
Yeah.
But and maybe the next fight she has in her first title defense, we'll see that has been fixed.
You'd hope to think so.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say.
Either way, let's get pumped for 298 next month.
All I gotta say is, get messed up, Canada. Bunch of losers.
0-7.
Too nice. Too soft. Get out of here.
Let's see. I don't think there should be a fight card this week.
Is it tied to Ivasa?
It's not. You got Roman Dolidze and Nasruddin Imanov. You got Drew Dober on there. Nothing crazy. The fight night after that, you got Jack Hermanson, who I thought was fighting on 300.
Probably is.
No?
300 is not till April.
Yeah, but that's a quick turnaround. So yeah, pretty much waiting on 298 for Volk against Topuria. With, yet again, do you want to guess who's on that card?
I believe Jeff Neal.
Jeff Neal is on that card.
Has Neil Magny booked his fight yet?
It would appear not, but it's only a matter of time.
Fill in.
He'll be in the,
Yeah,
in the
that's
arena.
Jeff Neal versus Ian Gary.
It is, which
Maybe. It'll be Jeff Neal versus Neil Magny.
we're hoping for a Jeff Neal win here, right?
It'll be Jeff Neal versus Neil Magny.
I think we're all hoping for a Jeff Neal win.
Shane?
I'm going to be so honest. I
Jeff
don't-
Neal against Ian Gary.
Oh, against Ian Gary? Yeah, as long as he doesn't get pneumonia again.
Like I said, it'll be Jeff Neal versus Neil Magny.
Only a matter of time. Also, the
If that's
Reaper,
even allowed, because
they can get catch
they
weight.
might be the same person.
Catch weight, come on.
They might be the same person, though. How can, guy can't fight
That'd
himself.
be entertaining. You ever watch like The Office when Dwight's doing his like self-defense and he's fighting himself? That'd be Jeff Neal versus Neil Magny.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's like, oh, shoot for a takedown. Oh, gotcha. I saw that coming. Left jab, dodged. Let's go with stick pick here real quick before we end up this episode. Let's go.
I don't like
Cam.
how you said that. Before we end up this episode.
Wasn't great. Wasn't great.
That was
Before we wrap up shop.
there you go. That's the classic. God, there's
Which
so many.
what does
in
that
there.
mean? To wrap up shop. What? Oh, we lost it.
Oh,
I think you got it.
it is an LFD,
That's always good.
but it's not the like titular band. It's just the brand.
Does it just say LFD?
Yeah.
Let's say the Double Ligero.
Yeah, let's go
The
with
Joe
that.
Burrow special. And I'm pumped for Super Bowl show for the LFD 2024 Super Bowl smokes. Which Shane, you
2023.
correct? You got to smoke that show, right?
It is
Oh,
3
yeah.
sticks. We do have 3 of those.
I'll go for it.
Got to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Close but no cigar. Going
Like
with the Bills.
we're forcing you. Do you understand that?
I don't like the way that sounds.
You will smoke that cigar
Whether you like it or not.
whether you enjoy it or not. Do you understand me?
I got it.
Look
Okay.
me in the eyes too.
Got it.
Say the line.
We're going to make you smoke that.
Look,
One way or the look at me. One way or the other,
I don't like. No, dude. This
you're
feels
going to
weird.
smoke that cigar.
back over
Do
here.
you understand?
Nope.
Look at Cam.
Dude, I don't,
Look at Cam
I don't
right now.
like this.
Look at Cam.
Look at me.
I don't like this.
Look at Cam.
me. Stop smiling.
Stop doing this.
It's not funny,
Stop
dude.
smiling.
It's not a joke.
Stop it.
Mute his mic. Look at me.
No.
You
I don't want to do this.
are going
Did you cut your
to
eye?
smoke that cigar.
Did you?
That's
You are
irrelevant.
going to smoke that cigar.
I'm going to smoke the cigar.
Now look at me.
There we go. Look at him.
You're smoking. Oh, look at me in the eyes. You're smoking that stick.
Okay, yeah.
Guaranteed.
Got it.
It's a promise.
Can you look at him and tell me if I'm tripping or if his one eye looks bloody?
You're tripping, dude.
Yeah, I'm good.
Did you smoke anything extra tonight?
No.
What was in
Dude,
those Marlboros?
3
dude?
ciggies?
Dude, this guy burned through. This guy, what do you say?
Pounded.
Hammered. He pounded,
Pounded
3
3
ciggies,
cigs,
dude. Over a 2-hour period.
Bums of the week.
Let's start off with Anders Carlson.
I'll be honest. When they were saying his name, I thought it was just Dan Carlson. I'm like, isn't he the Raiders kicker? When did that happen?
It's his brother. Yeah,
Actually?
for real.
Okay.
But Anders also was like not even good in college. It's like a 70% kicker. Still got drafted.
Interesting.
LaFleur said, I guess pregame when they asked him about like, hey, are you confident in your kicking situation? He's like, yeah, every time he goes out there, I just pray.
Oh,
Just not a good sign in
that's
your
a
kicker.
crazy thing to say.
Clearly, and he says like he was joking and whatever, but you don't
maybe-
say that.
Maybe he would have said that about anybody. Are you confident in Jordan Love? Yeah, when he goes out there, I just pray. I mean, because maybe he's just a religious guy. Maybe he prays a lot.
It's a fair point. Fair point. Either way, missed the kick that could have gone to a touchdown lead. And of course, you got to go Tyler Bass. 44 yards, wide right. Heartbreaker.
Unfavorable conditions. And
With the win at his back, though. But overall, yeah.
should not have been put in that situation.
Agreed. They should have scored a TD right there on that drive.
Yeah.
But, man, I can't imagine a more demoralizing position to be in. He deleted all of his social media,
Naturally.
which you have to.
Yeah.
Like, man, you have one job. All the pressure's on you.
That's the problem, too. Like, that's a lot of pressure.
That's so much. I can't
And
imagine.
I feel like if the game was tied, it'd be a lot less pressure.
It should be, yeah.
But, yeah.
Knowing
that's
if you
tough,
miss,
man.
you lose and go home, your season's over in front of your home crowd.
That's tough.
Brutal. I think Todd Bowles, definitely bum of the week. Again, for not
Timeouts.
taking
He had
timeouts.
3.
When he
Even
could
if
at
he
least
had 2.
take them.
Yeah.
Like
'cause
every other coach
somebody will
does.
fix it.
Yeah.
Somebody will fix it. You'll find out you have another one.
Look, if you call a third and you don't have it, what is that, 5 yards?
Something like that.
If
Game's
that-
already over
yeah,
anyways.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Come on. Call them all. And then Nicole Hardman,
2 carries, -2 yards,
2 fumbles.
2 fumbles. That's
Not a-
impressive.
Not a great ratio.
Happens once. Okay. Maybe we hand it off again later. Then you do it a second time
On the goal line.
on the goal line. I will say that was just a very good play by
Oh,
the
no.
defense.
Again, yeah. Look, not his fault. I get it.
The
but
first one, terrible ball
it was
control.
rough.
The second one, that was just great football IQ.
And great on the refs, too, for actually getting it right. I'm glad there's no discussion here about bad calls or bad reffing. Got
Well, I
him
think
play
because
all
it
week.
was against the Chiefs too. Like even if he was down and they called the fumble anyways,
I mean, we'd have been happy.
and most people would be.
It would have been addressed
Nobody
still,
would be
though.
talking about how it was a controversial call except Nick Wright, who might still be talking that
Probably
it's a
is.
controversial call.
Yeah. And I believe that will end episode 72. Shane?
You know what we like to say, boys. SNS.
To the moon.